He's just famous.
Yes. Joe Rogan. That's what we were talking about.
Yes. Welcome to the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yes. The Joe Rogan episode 3042. I don't know how many he's done. But this is actually the Famous for Nothing podcast. Gamecast part 1, I think, again, of a Gamecast, because we did Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we finished the first game, so this is a new one.
Hold on. I'm just going to redo that intro, because that was a shit-ass intro.
I like that, man. What the hell's wrong with you?
Okay, fine. Okay. I'm not redoing the intro. Now it's a bad intro. Either way, this is the Gamecast, episode 1 again, I guess, of the Gamecast. Technically episode 6. We're doing Resident Evil this time. So, our host is actually not going to be me this time. It's going to be Nicholas.
Hi. Yes, it's me. I'm scared. It's fine. No pressure.
The second host, maybe?
I don't know, man. I'm just here along for the ride.
Resident Evil fan here.
Yeah, there you go.
The Sexy Raccoon.
From Raccoon City itself.
Yeah,
right.
There we go. So, as far as me knowing Resident Evil, I played all of 5 multiple times, and I know that 1 has bad voice acting because of
That's the original one.
Yeah, but the reason I know that actually is because I saw someone play it a long ass time ago, and I was like, I like this game. I don't know what this is, but I just remember, even as a kid, I was like, this voice acting is horrible.
They won like an award for like the worst voice acting.
Yeah,
I think.
And then I guess knew about Resident Evil a little bit more, and then I saw like episode 1 of or the first Resident Evil, and I was like, oh hey, that game looks familiar. And then I heard the voices, and I was like, that's the game I saw before. So I recognized it was Resident Evil 1. So like, I thought that was pretty cool. But I know that 1 and I don't know anything about 2 and 3 honestly. But
Those are some of the better ones.
I know they have the fixed camera angle for the most part. 4 goes to the side, like 5.
4 was the one that pioneered that
Over the shoulder style.
And a lot of people would say it's the greatest game of all time.
It's one of them. That's what a lot of people say. Yeah. Which it's very good. I just couldn't get behind the controls.
People really hate 5, but it's the only one I played and I really liked it.
I love 5.
And I've heard 6 is dog shit or it's really good. Depends who you're talking about.
It depends on what you like.
Yeah.
Really.
And then 7
Six felt like it was 3 different fucking games.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah. But go ahead.
Oh, well, the 7 though, it's it just went back in time, I guess, in first person view, and it's more scarier.
Well, the people that worked on Silent Hill PT, when that game got canceled, they took workers there and developers there and put it into
That's pretty dope.
Resident Evil 7.
See, the only reason I know that because the Moose Jordan, he let me use his PlayStation VR, and I used the free trial on the VR for the Resident Evil 7.
I just hate how you can't use the aim controls in that game. They missed an opportunity. You had to use the actual controller. That's just.
I wouldn't know the difference.
I mean, either way.
But that's pretty much the top of my head. I'll say something else if I know about it later. But at the top of my head, that's all I really know about Resident Evil. I know Leon is everyone's favorite character, but I never really knew him because I only played 5.
Yeah.
And apparently Jill was like a big deal. I remember playing 5, and then you see her in the game, right? Like towards the end. And it felt like it was supposed to be a big deal, but I have no idea who she was.
Yeah.
Because the reactions from the characters and everything, like, it made it like she was a big deal. And I was like, I don't know who
Well, what happened in there was a big deal. But once you kind of go through this, you'll understand why it was such a big moment. You're talking about when she was brainwashed?
Yeah, I think so.
It'll make a lot more sense.
And then the bad guy, he was pretty cool. I liked
Wesker?
him. Yeah, Wesker.
Oh,
Yeah, he was-
Which, side note, he was my main character in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Really?
Yes. Oh, man. I love his comments throughout the fight. Especially, there's one that, and I'm trying to remember the move. I think it's right before he, does the weird dashing / teleport thing.
Yeah.
And he says, "Do I frighten you?"
Oh.
So I thought that was such a cold-hearted thing to say right before he disappears from your view.
Yeah, that is.
Wesker's just
he's a badass.
Yeah, he just drips cool.
Yeah,
Right.
that and I think his level 3 super. He said something along the lines of, "Humans are so weak, you mean nothing to me." And is this like him constantly talking shit throughout
Yeah.
the fight? That to me that made him even more epic.
Which I seen or I heard your side of what you know. I actually want to know what you know as well, because this is my first time actually meeting you.
Yeah,
so.
that is true. Well, I know some. I'm honestly not gonna know as much as you do. My history with Resident Evil is, the first time I ever saw the game itself, it was Resident Evil 1. I remember this because my uncle actually, back in the day when Walmart was open 24/7, he decided, I'm gonna go buy a PlayStation. All right, cool, let's go. This is at like 2 in the morning too, by the way. So, we go to Walmart, he gets a PlayStation, and he's like, I want that game. I don't care about any other games, I want that one. It was Resident Evil. And I remember the cover, like, it just kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, it shows like Chris, like a fucked up eye and like all spiders everywhere and shit. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's see what this game's all about. Because he was so excited about it, and he had played it before. And I'm never gonna forget the first moment that I saw that, I guess, iconic cinematic where you meet the first zombie and he kind of does that like over the shoulder look. Which, when I saw that in the trailer for the latest movie, like that brought all these like memories back.
It's very nostalgic.
It was. So,
which I think I have that video on my phone, which I want to show you.
Yeah, it's just like the iconic fucking shot. And after that, I think I beat 1, the remakes of 2 and 3. I beat 5 and 6. But for me, I get the most enjoyment out of watching somebody else play it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those games that I'd rather watch somebody play it.
Because it's a very different kind of game where you watch someone else get scared of it and it's like a lot more enjoyment to you. That's why I usually watch people play it. So you started from the actually very beginning in '96.
Yes.
Okay, well, I wasn't even born in '96, so you got me beat.
That's like a passive aggressive backhand.
No,
it's cool. No, I guess by the time I did see it, it was still like the 90s, man. It might have been actually 98 when I first saw it. But the game had been out before then. And I guess it's one of the reasons why a lot of the things in number 1 kind of stuck out to me, because I was still at an age where 3D games were relatively new.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, like, I remember seeing Resident Evil and seeing all the graphics and shit, and like, man, it's not gonna get any better than this.
Yeah, pre-rendered backgrounds and stuff. Woo.
But here we are, PlayStation 5, dude, and
4K ray tracing.
Yeah,
so it's great. But some cool stuff I wanted to say is if you own a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, and 7 are getting facelifts on the new consoles. So you'll get 4K resolution, 60 frames. On the PS5, you get haptic feedback from the triggers.
Ooh.
So just shit on the people who don't have it then?
Basically.
Yeah, man.
So
you had plenty of time to get it, man.
And it's a free upgrade. So if you have a PS4, Xbox One, it's a free upgrade to the new consoles.
Oh yeah.
So I thought that was really cool. And Netflix is getting their own series.
Ooh, nice.
Resident Evil
Yes,
in July.
I hope we get a chance to talk about that because I want to know what you know.
I virtually just found out like a few days ago, so I know absolutely nothing about it. I didn't hear nothing about it until.
Well, I think
like
we all know that the movies Resident Evil is way better than the game series.
Oh,
correct?
Yes. Most definitely.
Correct?
Yeah, man.
I've seen 2 of them. I've seen the first one when I was a kid in theaters. That's it.
The first one's probably the best out of all of them.
I'm gonna agree with you just so you don't kick me out of the podcast.
And then, no,
Yes.
I saw the 3 dogs or whatever.
Mhm.
That's all I remember as a kid. I saw it in theaters. And then I saw the very last one, I think it was too. It's like they dropping lava off a skyscraper.
Oh yeah,
Something like that.
Gasoline.
It was actually like, it was entertaining. It wasn't bad. I was like, oh, that's actually fun to watch.
But see, that's the thing.
It's
Like,
popcorn movie.
I feel like it's entertaining if you don't know the lore.
if you play the games, you're gonna hate the movies. If you watch the movies, you're gonna hate the games. So it really depends on which one you pick first. Which
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
you're
off.
fine.
I can't wait till you actually play Resident Evil 2 and actually beat it, because I feel like you're gonna have a different point of view as a whole when it comes to Resident Evil.
What I plan on doing, I downloaded the first one and you saw the disc for number 2. I plan on playing the games as we do the podcast, and then that way, like on the next podcast, what we talked about, I can just be like, so I actually experienced it myself, and this is what I think, or whatever. Or do that, or just make it like a separate thing in itself.
Either way.
Yeah. But either way, after we do the podcast, I'm going to play the game and then give the thoughts on it.
All right.
Story-wise, I want to skip 0 because you're starting with the first game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably talk about main points on 0, and then just go straight into the first game.
Yeah, okay. So just for the, I guess, Resident Evil fans and whatnot out there, how are you telling the story? You going to do like Resident Evil 1, 2, the way chronological it would released, or chronological and story-wise?
See, this was the very difficult part, and that's why I had to rewrite all my notes, is because if you want to go by the actual chronological order of the story, it would go, which I have right here, it's 0, Umbrella Chronicles, Nightmares, 1, Rebirth, Outbreak series, the first half of 3, Resident Evil 2, Claire A, and then Leon B, the fourth survivor. It gets better. The last half of Resident Evil 3, Survivor, Code Veronica, Infinite Darkness, Dark Side Chronicles, Operation Javier.
So Resident Evil 1 is just at the end.
No.
In the game is what you're telling me.
No, honest. And then it just keeps going on and on from there. So, trust me.
All right, so it sounds like we got a lot to cover.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let you host.
Alrighty.
Go ahead.
Well, as you can see, I have a bunch of fucking notes. With the new release of Resident Evil Village, they added a lot more backstory that leads up to the first game. So, in an undetermined date...
Wait, real quick. So, is this Village or is this Resident Evil?
So, in Village, in the notes and stuff, they described a lot of stuff that has to do with before the events of Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
So, before the game release, we didn't have this knowledge.
And Resident Evil Village is its own game and not DLC of Resident Evil also, right?
No, it is its own entity, its own
sure.
$60. It's priced at it. I'm treating it as it.
Okay.
So, in an undetermined date, the 4 houses settle on the mountains of Eastern Europe, where they oversee a village. These houses are, I'm gonna butcher these. Berengario, Caesar, Guillermo, and Nicola. Ooh, I don't know.
Okay, so are those names gonna be important later?
Not really. They just.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm just gonna make up nicknames for them.
Yeah, so don't worry about those. With a feudal system, with a cross-like symbol over all the town's ancient structures, that would be important. So there is all the towns in the ancient parts. There's the symbol. That will. You can probably piece it together, but that'll be important.
I'm guessing that's going to sacrifice people or something like that.
No, but I mean, I'll get to it. So from that point, and in 1919, Mother Miranda, her daughter Eva, dies of Spanish flu in the pandemic. You don't know this yet. This is just like introducing her. She is Mother Miranda of the village. She's kind of known, but not really. She's just like one of the villagers. Her daughter Eva dies of the Spanish flu. Grief-stricken, she plans to wander off this village into a cave to commit suicide. And there she finds a fungal root or a mold. She touches it and gains incredible knowledge and evidently immortality. that will be very important much later
I
on.
can see
This
the
is escalating.
gears
This is
turning in your head, bro. I
She's
can
like-
see
she-
the fucking gears going up.
Okay, so first of all, she wanted to commit suicide. Why is she committing suicide?
Because
Like,
her daughter had died from the Spanish flu.
I mean,
Granted, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's
Nah,
just
just
what
go with it.
happens.
Just
okay, it's fine. You want to commit suicide, but you're gonna go to a cave. Okay, and then you see a piece of fungus.
And then she wants to touch it.
Which
Why?
I mean,
I don't know.
was it a shroom?
I mean, look, man.
I would have touched a shroom,
To
right?
be fair, if I was to ever off myself, I'd probably go isolate myself in a cave too. Reason
Probably.
being, I don't want my stench to be the last thing you fucking know of me.
That's true.
So
How was she
I'm
gonna
just
kill
saying,
herself?
I think that's like
It doesn't say.
I think it's
It
like
didn't say
nice
anymore.
suicide etiquette, man. If you ask
You know
me.
what? Now you put it that way, I like this woman.
Right?
She's gonna be the
She thinks
villain.
of everybody.
But it doesn't.
So when she touches this fungal root,
Shroom.
or shroom,
She touches the magic shroom.
yes, she gains incredible knowledge and immortality. So she doesn't know about immortality, just evidently she just keeps living on and on and on. She returns back to the village and she's greeted as like this like black goddess because this mold has turned her like kind of blackish.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be racist. That's just what it says.
I wasn't thinking that at all.
I'm sorry.
We got a one color guy in here, and he's like,
That's why I'm here, man. I'm wearing stripes like a referee. So
Just stop it right here. Cancel it. It's fine.
you get a verbal warning, bro.
right? But they treat her as a cult, so they like devote themselves to her instead of the four lords that are over them. And with this found knowledge, she's like, "Oh, I have devout followers. I could do things to them, experiment with them with this mold, because she now has vast knowledge." So that's what she does. She takes these devoted villagers of her cult and does experiments with them with the mold, but it ends in death. Most of all of them die. Every time she's tried to do experiments with them with the mold, they have died. And it wasn't until she found what does it say? It wasn't until she found a parasitic nematode that she dubbed the Kato, where it bonds with itself. So she then experiments with that, and that's where you get the games, lichens, vampires, and stuff, and all that kind of crazy
"Wait,
stuff.
it has vampires?"
Vampiric creatures kind of stuff, the things with hoods.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
All right. So let me start because like this is stuff that is almost like it's kind of like new grounds.
Mhm.
I guess in a way it's trying to, from what I feel that the new game is trying to do, it's trying to like rewrite Resident Evil's history by introducing otherworldly creatures like that.
Mm-hmm. So instead of just doing zombies, they tried to do lichens and vampires.
Yeah,
and this is
they're
kind of their
trying to-
excuse of doing
Yeah.
so is Resident Evil? Is it actually like zombies or is it like
It is a
fungus?
It's a virus.
Yeah, virus. That's why I always got.
Yeah,
It's a virus.
it started off like
Yeah.
in a viral outbreak.
It wasn't just zombies in the first game. You had like spiders and
Yeah.
hunters and zombies. It just zombies was the big thing of the time because it was like, oh, it's a zombie game, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, that's fine. But I was trying to like kind of clarify a point because I know since he hasn't played it,
Mhm.
and you weren't even like 5 seconds in, and his eyes were just like
Yeah.
Oh.
Trust me, don't like expect to remember all of this. This is meant for like much later.
So like you said, all this this is new stuff. This is new stuff.
We didn't have this
Yeah,
until last year.
So
Oh wow, that's super
Yeah.
new.
yeah, so all this stuff that's coming out, like the werewolves and the vampires, all that stuff is new to the series.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
New but old.
So in other words, through the 1 through like 6, or even 7 maybe.
1 through 6 is
won't
kind of
have vampires. and
formula. 7 and 8 were really like stretching out,
Yeah, 7 and 8 went in a totally different direction.
and that's because the series was kind of going down. But I'm not talking about that.
stuff. Well, 6. Yeah, I heard 6 was bad, but 7. I don't know about 7, but all
7
I know
was
is
damn
like
good.
I just kind of know it's all in a house and about this family trying to kill a guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it.
7's confusing. I still have to look back on my notes too. But whenever she was doing these experiments, making the lichens and vampires, some of them actually bonded differently. And that's where you get because, Mother Miranda had lived out the previous 4 lords, she created 4 new ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get Lady Dimitrescu, Buenavito, Monroe, and Heisenberg.
Wait, is that Demi girl, is she the tall woman
Yes.
with big boobs that everyone loves?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where her origin comes in. Yeah.
I know about that. And
All right, man.
that's the only
look.
thing I know about that game.
Yeah.
The way you said it, though, man, it made it seem like it's like you're secretly obsessed and you're expecting everybody else to be.
Tall women's not my thing, but I can see why they like it.
Just the dominance, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think apparently. Okay, I could be wrong about this, but I think didn't they like make her taller and make her boobs bigger? Like, because before the game even came out, like everyone was talking about her, so like let's make her a little bit taller and a little bit more sexier.
I don't know. I remember in the trailers she looked kind of the same, so you might be right. I honestly don't know.
Okay, I'm not.
I would
sure.
say so. It makes more sense.
Let's see.
But yeah, that's where her origin comes in. That's how she was made to be so tall and so.
Voluptuous.
Yes.
Is the word you're looking
voluptuous. Yes, thank you. We're gonna skip over about 30 years.
Okay.
So from 1919 to 1950, we're now in 1950. Mother Miranda meets a young British soon-to-be doctor who she saves from exposure. Exposure from? Don't know. Didn't say. And takes him under her wing. So she does these experiments with this doctor that, or soon-to-be doctor with her. Eventually, this, soon-to-be doctor grows, disillusioned. I forgot to mention this. I'm so sorry. The reason why she does these experiments is to... It's going to sound stupid, but this is what it says. She wants to find the perfect vessel to put her daughter's memories in it. So basically to resurrect her own daughter.
Bro, we haven't got to the part of Kingdom Hearts yet. This makes total sense. That is totally my realm right now.
So that, yeah.
All right, so like from a person, I haven't played 7 and 8, mostly because I'm not a big fan of first-person view games. So like I completely skipped them, right? And I don't mind the fact that like all this shit's getting spoiled on me because I really don't.
Fuck you, dog.
No. But here's the thing. From whatever little you've covered so far, it sounds like Resident Evil, batshit insane. That's pretty much how it.
I'm not even down the rabbit hole yet. We're just starting to dig
let's
it.
go.
So.
I'm into this, man. Let's go.
But eventually, this soon-to-be doctor grows disillusioned to her reason. Why would you want to do these experiments just to bring your daughter back whenever it could be used to be the next step in human evolution? So he wants to use it as, why are you just being this small whenever you could be like the next step in human evolution? Like imagine how much better this could be. So eventually they part ways. And before I move on, that soon-to-be doctor's name was Oswell E.
Spencer.
Now...
So you know that name?
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay.
He was actually in Resident Evil 5.
Oh.
You remember the old man in the chair?
No. I remember punching the boulder.
Yep.
And, not very much of from that game.
Really?
I just remember being in Africa and just killing zombies.
Which that plays a good part.
I'm glad you said zombies and not black people.
I mean, it did get shit. Didn't they have to pay a lawsuit for that?
I think that's when, and I may be wrong, but originally Sheva wasn't even supposed to be part of the game.
No, it was just supposed to be Chris.
Chris in Africa, a big burly white man killing a
Beating
bunch
up
of
black
people. So then they gave him a partner who happens to be black for no reason at all.
It makes it okay now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No lawsuits, fine. We
Which,
forgive you.
honestly, I played as her more than Chris because she gets to use the bow after you beat the game.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Dude,
fun.
that was so cool. Like, yeah, she was a badass. But did she just disappear after 5?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Wow.
She was the unit for the African BSAA, so she wasn't supposed to go everywhere else.
But in reality, she was just there so they won't get sued.
But they did get sued, didn't they?
No.
No. They're
There
still
were
making
different
games. They're
times,
fine.
man.
No.
What was this? When did this game come out?
No, I'm pretty sure they did get sued for that. Because I remember hearing about it in the news, like Resident Evil 5. I was like, oh, I used to play that game. And then talked about, like, you know, in Africa, so you only kill black people. And I was like, I never thought of that. But yeah, I guess it is true. Like, I don't remember killing anyone white besides
No, that was
the
a
bad guy.
compromise, man. Sheva Alomar was a compromise. Throw in a black main character and we'll be alright. And they're like, alright, cool, sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, cool.
Well, you could just, you know, make white people.
They probably did, because there are some.
They
Not
do
very
have
many.
like every other, you know, bad like zombie or whatever is like a white guy or a person of different color skin. You know, if you ask me though, they look more like Mexicans,
They really
which
do.
didn't make it any better.
Just
I'm just
lighter
gonna
skinned
say.
ones.
Didn't they, like, also ride motorcycles
Mhm.
at some point? Yeah, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know.
That's a fucking scary zombie, but
Oh yeah, man.
a two black more. Okay, go ahead.
Alright,
Sorry.
we're-
Oh no! It's not that. I'm trying to think of everything.
Oh no,
That's fine.
yeah.
So
I
you
just-
left off with Dr. Oswald Spencer.
Yeah. So after that, you know, they part ways, and he then becomes a doctor and then a scientist. So we're gonna jump again about 10 years. So 1960s. You good so
yeah,
far?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not like getting on to you. I'm just like, I know this can be confusing. Trust me, I had to rewrite this. Like, do you see the oil stains on this? Like, this is like the 8th time I've had to rewrite this.
I'm probably gonna get some Sprite stains on it soon, but
Right? I kept it over here. I'm being responsible, damn it. But in the 1960s, he parts ways with Miranda and then takes the Crosslight logo as an idea for maybe something in the future. And his name was Oswald Spencer. Later on, virologist Edward Ashford, James Marcus, and Oswald Spencer gain information on a wildflower in the African region called the Stairway to the Sun that grows in a very specific part of the country. The flower is said to bestow powers of superhuman capabilities. So whenever someone consumes it, they gain like super speed, super strength. And naturally, the scientists are like, oh, why does it do that?
So basically, and if I remember correctly, this flower can only be found in a cave and like in one specific spot.
Mm-hmm.
And think of it like this is the whole fucking Black Panther premise. Like, you know,
How vibranium
yeah.
can only be found in this. This flower can only be found in the African region. Do you remember in Resident Evil 5, the big stairway, a huge cave, has like a beam of sunlight going down? There's these orange flowers everywhere.
no, I do not.
You don't? I don't blame you. But
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
that's the Stairway to the Sunflower.
So, you know how like in Black Panther, the way that T'Challa gets his powers is by taking that, I guess, potion that was made by, you know, the fruits or whatever the fuck it was that came out of that tree. And that's how they would elect their leader, right? So it was a similar process in this village, in, you know, this tribe in Africa. Because the plant itself, like, I guess the virus or whatever that it contained, it would not bond with everybody. So the persons that it would bond with, you know, it'd give them like superhuman strength and all that other stuff. And that's how they found their leader.
And I'm guessing it's also at some point how the cool guy we just talked about.
very,
his super
very
speed?
deep in the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But so again, this flower gives them superhuman capabilities to all that consumes it, or to specific people who do. I don't know why I wrote that. That's really stupid. But due to the flower having a virus inside of it, they call it the Progenitor Virus. So, let's see. The three scientists believe, and by the way, the three scientists, Edward Ashford, James Marcus, and Oswald Spencer, are a big part. They're like a huge part of the entire series. You won't hear much about Edward Ashford until you get to about Code Veronica. James Marcus, I'm gonna very quickly skip over because it's a lot of zero. But Oswald Spencer, he stays alive for fucking ever. He never dies. He gets really old.
Oh yeah.
He just
From the
From
flower or from?
well, just being alive.
So he's just an old fuck.
Basically, yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't think he never really did experiments on himself.
Code Veronica is
I don't
also
think so.
after 3, right?
Yes.
Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure. You guys want me to turn the air on?
It don't bother me. Are my cheeks flushed or something?
Oh no, I'm like,
I mean, you can.
I'm gonna turn the air on, and I'm also about to check the camera.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I'll
you-
be back.
We'll be right back.
Hey, you guys, entertain.
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 I know it seems like I'm jumping a lot, but
Oh no, man! This, I know there's a lot to cover. So, and there's spots where I know that you can go into way more detail, but I don't think we have the time.
No.
But, so it's fine. Like I
We
feel
have
like the pace that you're going. at-
Literally as much time as we want.
All right, man.
This is not all gonna be done in one episode.
no, definitely not, because I haven't even started the first game yet.
Yeah, we haven't even.
Which I have to go on my phone for some notes because I didn't write it down. So yeah. Again, the
I'm down for whatever.
there you go. Enough drinks and you're down. But again, Oswald Spencer, Edward Ashford, and James Marcus are big parts of the series. The 3 scientists believe that this is their key to the next step in human evolution. Like this could be what we could use because they can't bring the mold because Mother Miranda is using it. So it's like, okay, we'll use this. But when they try and bring it over to America, it doesn't work because they need very specific.
Conditions for the flower to grow.
Yeah, like it only grows in this very specific region in the cave with just enough sunlight, just enough water, so they can't bring it. So they're like, okay, we're gonna need some more funds. We're gonna need some more money so that we can try and bring it in with the right kind of conditions. So they decided to open up a pharmaceutical company with the cross-like logo called Umbrella.
Hey.
There you
So-
go.
Hey.
Big ass reveal.
Right? So, with this new pharmaceutical company opened, they get the money to fund it. They do some experiments on the flower, and they use their research on it to sell to the military for bioorganic weapons. That's
Mhm.
what their whole research is for, to sell it to the military for bioorganic weapons, so they can get more funds, so they can do whatever.
Or BOWs.
Yep. And
What's that?
Bioorganic.
bioorganic weapons.
Oh.
BOWs.
I should have known that.
It's okay. Trust me.
I'm only one beer in.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm one Sprite and I'm starting to get a little shaky. It's fine. So with all of this money coming in from the pharmaceutical company and the selling to the military, they get a shit ton of money. They eventually start racking up money. So Marcus uses some of the money to do a training facility.
Mhm.
Edward Ashford, of course, builds a house, has a family, but also does the research. Oswald Spencer uses the money to create a lab deep underneath the Arclay Mountains, and he hires an architect called George Trevor. Now,
Wait. Is he from 5? That sounds so familiar.
You probably might have heard of him,
George Trevor. That sounds so familiar.
but he actually wasn't a big part of the series until Resident Evil 1 Remake came out.
Hmm.
And I'll get to that one in a little bit.
Maybe it's just the common name, George and Trevor. But that sounds
Probably.
familiar. But go for it. Sorry.
You're fine, don't worry about it. So he hires the architect George Trevor and his wife Jessica Trevor to build a mansion in the Arclay Mountains, and underneath the mansion will be his lab to do the experiments and shit.
Oh, wait. Is that the mansion?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the
Go-
mansion.
Okay.
But to
Captain America over there. I understood that reference.
Just making sure.
it's okay. Trust me. But to keep no loose ends, Spencer ends up trapping George in his own mansion so that nobody gets out of the lab that
Mhm.
he's created. And he stays hidden for a little while. So we'll get back to him in a little while. So the other two researchers, Marcus and Edward, get wind of what Spencer did. So he trapped an architect. You know, you damn near almost killed someone. What the fuck? So he's like, well, if he's gonna do that, he might overthrow us.
Wait, so who's snitching if he's trapped?
There's only caught wind of it.
Did he tell himself? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And it makes sense. Like, what the fuck? You know, I didn't think of that.
It's the only two of one guy's trapped, another guy.
Well, I mean, they know that he's building it. Of course, they're all partners in it.
Sorry,
so. You're fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
So they believe, Spencer's going to overthrow us as head of the company. So, we need to create this arms race. We need to build the best of it so that we can be the head.
Mm-hmm.
So they all start trying to do their own independent research. So they all do their own research with the progenitor virus they have. And in 1968, a mysterious circumstance happens that causes Edward Ashford to die by accident. It says by Spencer. So
only there is no accidents.
Only there is no accidents, no.
Resident Evil. The movie.
Okay, sorry. So there's been so many characters. Edward is the other scientist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So he has just mysteriously died.
Okay.
Nowhere.
Did they know how he died? Like how?
Mm-hmm. Well,
not like how he died, but like how they found him.
I think they did. I just haven't wrote it down.
Okay.
That's
fine.
I'll get back to that, honestly.
Okay.
So he dies by accident, and the next step in the line with the Ashfords is his son, Alexander. So he becomes the head of that family. So it didn't fucking work. Didn't make any sense why he did it. Why kill one if another one's gonna come up,
Mm-hmm.
It's like
so he's actually dead though, right?
Yes.
Like he dead. Okay. I didn't know if it was like a fake death or... Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
No, he died. Spoiler, but not spoiler. I mean...
Yeah, man, we're talking about a game series that's been around for at least 25 years, so...
I'm trying to keep some stuff,
vague. Since you haven't really played, but
some of them I'm just gonna look, he fucking died, okay?
He fucking died, move on.
Damn, poor guy.
Right? So that happened in 1968, and again, I'm jumping a lot, but eventually this will all come into play for the first game. So in 1978, 10 years later, one of the scientists, Marcus, makes a breakthrough with the virus by combining DNA from leeches to the progenitor virus and creates the T virus. Is that familiar?
Is that the main one?
It's a, what would you call it? Like a big one, or like the most
It's
known?
one of the main ones.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't be thinking about this.
All right, so
No,
check
no,
it.
no, no,
No. Here's the thing. So with this flower that they found,
Mm-hmm.
basically everyone went their own way and they did experiments, and they all have variations, if you may,
Mm-hmm.
of a virus.
But none of them made a huge breakthrough until Marcus did with the leeches.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
So it's like look at it this way. It's like we find this flower, and then we have a common goal.
Mm-hmm.
But then for whatever reason, you get too fucking power hungry,
Mm-hmm.
and you decide to go doing shit on your own. So then me and him are like, well, fuck him. We're gonna go and do shit on our own too.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think of it.
No, you're
this is in the
fine.
70s and in America now.
Yeah.
So if people are starting, if this is whenever people turn into zombies, like back in the 70s, I'm just imagining hippie zombies.
I mean, they
So,
could, yeah.
No, wait, I was about to ask that. Do you actually see that 70s looking people as zombies?
No. See, here's the
Okay.
thing.
That's more...
During the 60s
Mm-hmm.
and the 70s and all that stuff, all these experiments that are happening.
Just experiments haven't gotten global.
Not yet.
No,
Okay.
They're all just trial and error.
Yeah, they're all taking place in underground facilities or facilities way off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't heard of zombies
Yeah.
yet.
So and they're all very fucking contained. So none of this has come to light.
What do they call them in the game? Do they call them zombies or
Zombies.
viruses?
They call them zombies.
Okay.
They're not stupid like Walking Dead. They don't fucking
The
call them
walkers.
walkers. I always found that stupid. Just call them fucking zombies.
You wanna know one of my favorite terms for zombies that I heard in, I guess,
Breakers?
No, stenchers.
What was that in?
Land of the Dead.
Really?
Yes, they call them stenchers.
That makes sense.
It does.
They're fucking rotting and shit.
Dude, first time I ever heard that, it like blew my mind. Cause I'm like, you never think about it, but that's a shit ton of walking corpses, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like it smells funky.
Yeah, the first thing when you die, you piss and shit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On top of the corpse smell.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It makes sense. Well, anyways.
Go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. So he makes the breakthrough with the leeches, and with this new T virus, it's a much deadlier virus who, when it infects you, it leaves the host mentally damaged and leaves you at a very violent, cannibalistic state. Also known as zombie. So this is the first virus that is like, oh, this can create a zombie, kind of thing. So, but he wasn't alone with this research. He didn't do it on his own. He hired a researcher known as William Birkin and Albert Wesker. So Albert Wesker was one of the researchers that helped him make the T virus.
Does Wesker... You just named a lot of games a minute ago. Does Wesker have his own game?
And Umbrella Chronicles, kinda.
Okay.
But it's kind of a retelling of the first game in Zero. But no, he doesn't really have his own game. Same.
And the funny thing about here's just a side note. So anytime you find like stuff about Wesker, like because playing the game you find like files and old pictures and stuff like that. Anytime you see a picture of Wesker, he's always wearing sunglasses.
Yep. He never shows his eyes.
This motherfucker's over there like wearing a lab coat, like a fucking scientist, but sunglasses. And he's the only prick wearing them too.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what probably makes him so cool.
Yeah,
Just having the sunglasses all the time. He didn't give a shit. Go ahead.
Since y'all were talking about Wesker a lot, I actually have the origin of Wesker. Do you want to hear that? Or do you want to go
let's
past
go
it?
into this. Man.
Wait.
It's very short.
If I go past it, will I be told about it later?
No, not really. It's just kind of a fun thing.
Okay. Because I kind of want to know, but
no.
if it's...
No, just go ahead.
It's not any spoiler.
Okay.
So before the three scientists split up, when they were all together with Umbrella, they would collect children to find the superior genes in them for the next step in human evolution. So they would give them the best education, the best qualifications, but they would imbue in their minds Spencer's ideologies. How we're going to separate the wheat from the chaff. You're going to be, the best of the best. But
Sounds like Halo.
Basically.
But, yeah. Sounds like Master Chief. Whatever they call him.
He would also infect them with prototype viruses that, definitely wouldn't work. And he captured over 90 kids. Okay, over 93 kids. And one of the few that survived was Albert Wesker. He was the one that survived the viruses, did the best in the classes, performed the best, had the superior genes, was the Wesker family. So whenever he turned 17, he joined Umbrella for the causes of Spencer and became a scientist. So yeah, I just thought that'd be kind of fun.
Okay, yeah.
Again, nothing too big.
He's still super cool now.
Yeah.
I thought he was about to say he's about to experiment on kids, and I'm just like... He'd still be cool, but...
Yeah.
As long as he did it with sunglasses.
What?
As long as he did it with sunglasses.
Right?
You lose a few points, but he's still cool.
He was born with sunglasses. They just grew with him.
Like Johnny Bravo or something. Well, then again, he does have somewhat of a Johnny Bravo.
He really
vibe.
does. Blonde hair, black,
slick back.
glasses.
Prefers black, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was cool in 5, though. In the movies, he kind of sucked.
Wait, who plays him in the movie?
I don't even know.
Like 3 different actors, bro.
Any of them do it justice at all?
The one in Afterlife did okay.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point it was mostly the actual scene that they chose to interpret as opposed to Wesker himself.
Now, the new movie did him so unfucking justice.
Oh yeah, man,
he was a pussy.
That was dog
movie.
shit,
Really?
Wesker.
Yes,
man.
he should have played Barry.
First of all, why in the fuck is he like a big ass country boy?
Right. No.
Wait, Wesker was country?
Yeah, in the movie.
Spoilers.
Not really.
I don't really care that much.
All right, cool. So like, in the movie,
in the Resident Evil,
in the new Resident Evil movie, Wesker is portrayed as like this country guy, basically.
Okay.
He's not. He's supposed to be like this cool dude.
Yeah.
I know
Shades.
what he's. Look, dude. I know Wesker from.
He doesn't even fucking wear shades in the movie.
Imagine Jordan if he worked out, bro.
Shit.
Jordan ain't that country though.
It's there. You know it's there.
I don't think I know Jordan. I just know Ryan.
Oh yeah, you didn't make Jordan,
Dude, come
huh?
on, man. Jordan drives a truck. He's got hidden guns in his truck. He always talks about guns and shooting deer.
Ooh.
And, come on, man.
Getting back to the corner.
He doesn't have a four-wheeler.
That we know of.
That is true. I've never been behind his house. Huh. I don't know. Okay.
We love Jordan, man, by the way. We're not ragging on him. But I'm just saying, I'm giving you, like...
Well, I won't rag on Jordan.
I'm giving you, like, an example. This, like, the Wesker in this movie is the man that Jordan aspires to be.
Okay. There you go. That sounds a lot better. Yeah. Okay.
Is that any good, honestly? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you get one if you want.
No, I can't. I gotta drive home.
Modelo's my favorite.
Have you tried the lemon and salt Modelo?
No.
Dude, I've been hooked on that shit.
I'm too big of a pussy because I'm scared I'm gonna spend my money and like not even like it.
I'll drink them if you don't like them.
Dude, I'll try it.
Matter of fact,
just don't
I
wanna-
thought about bringing a few over, like today.
Yeah.
And then when I was driving over here, like halfway through, I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot the beer.
If I can just get like a 40 ounce or something, maybe, or just a beer, but like you gotta buy like 6-pack or more, you know? I mean, like, if I don't like them, it's gonna go to waste. But fair enough.
If you get drunk enough, man, you're going to drink whatever.
That is true. Anything tastes like water after a few.
Except for Fire Bubble. That's a whole different story. Let's
No,
I
continue.
wouldn't.
Fireball tastes like water after a while. But yeah, sidetracked.
I just drink soda. It's fine.
Go ahead.
So let's see. Where did we leave off on? Okay. So Marcus made the big discovery. He did it with the two scientists, William Birkin and Wesker. Well, Wesker is like, oh, well, this, there's an armed race going on. I'm gonna fuck with this. So he tells Spencer about the big discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Being an asshole. And Spencer's like, oh, he did. Okay. Well, why don't you come join me? Come join my cause. I'm one of the ones that created you. Why don't you come join me? So he takes Wesker and Birkin into his mansion and stuff.
Holy shit, you just fucking blew my mind.
What's that?
So,
Sorry.
friggin' Spencer, he basically made Wesker what he is, right?
Yeah. He was one of them that did, yeah. Am I too loud? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh.
You're good.
I can't hear what shit.
Oh yeah. So they, in the new movie, Chris has that same relationship with Birkin. You just fucking blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was wondering where the fuck they pulled that shit from.
So Chris, okay, I don't know if you just.
It's a completely different thing with the movie.
Okay, so did Chris maybe like be one of those kids too at some point, or no?
It could be a theory, but it never says. I mean, you could go with that, but
Speaking of theories, I thought of something today. Just whatever. Totally sidetracked.
You're fine.
Dragon Ball, Goku Black. What if Goku Black was Goten instead, growing up and became evil?
Ooh.
Just saying.
I found a post like that earlier, and that made me think.
It made me
That
think.
would have been a hell of a lot better story arc, to be honest.
Yes. Okay.
Anyways.
Sidetrack.
I never watched those yet. I need to, but I
Get
haven't
out of
yet.
my house.
Right? I've been needing to. I just where do I watch it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah, Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll is now Funimation and Crunchyroll.
Oh, cool.
Anything on Funimation has gone to Crunchyroll now.
Cool. Okay, well then I'll start checking that out. Because I'm still trying to watch GT, and I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah, you could really do without it.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just
Totally
asking, like, do you want me to, or?
He's looking at you like, you bastard.
Yeah.
You just,
No.
Keep interrupting
Let me get to
me.
the first game, damn it.
No.
I'm waiting on it too, man. You need to shut the fuck up
Okay,
and
I'm
drink
sorry.
that Modelo, dude.
I'm gonna.
Please
fine.
continue,
You're
sir.
fine.
I'll only ask questions due to like the story.
You're
All
fine.
right, let's go.
So when he brings the two scientists in, Spencer, he says, the first order I'm going to give y'all, basically, because now you're mine, bitch, is I want you to go assassinate Marcus. I want you to go kill him. And so they head down there with some of their Umbrella squad. I think Hunk was with them. I'm not mistaken. Do you know who Hunk is? Okay, he plays a pretty big part. And they go and assassinate Marcus.
Give us a quick, I guess, description of who this character Hunk is, because he is
Hunk in
important.
5?
Hunk was not in 5.
Okay,
Hunk
yeah,
was in
I know.
4. Hunk was in 2. I don't think he's in 3. He was supposed to get his own game before 3 came out, but it
He
was scrapped.
kind of technically did with was it Operation Raccoon City.
I fucking hate that game, but yeah, he did.
I think it's a game that came out before its time.
And Umbrella Corps. Yeah.
I have not played that one,
I
but
wouldn't. That's honestly one of the games I want to skip is Umbrella Corps and Operation Raccoon City because it adds almost nothing to it. It's just kind of bullshit. Like, oh, multiplayer.
Well, yeah, okay, sorry. Operation Raccoon City, isn't that the, like, you got 4 people and you just shoot zombies nonstop?
Basically, and so is Umbrella Corps.
I feel like it's a game. Honestly, if it was to come out today, it might do better just because online is a bigger thing now than it was back in the day. And like he said, it really didn't add much to the story itself.
Yeah.
What it was a big, I guess, what would you call it? Like they were trying to get into the whole online thing.
They were trying to do what Gears of War did, I think.
It
When I
did
saw
have.
that, I see that game and that Metal Gear game with like you're just fighting zombies.
Oh, Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, like those two.
We don't
Like
fucking talk about it.
We don't. It was never made.
I kind of get that stuff.
Basically, yeah.
I kind of mix that in the same.
It's the same.
The only thing that I would say as far as Operation Raccoon City is that
It's kind of a retelling of 2 in a way.
yeah, like it does. Well, it goes into like 2 and 3 because there's a particular part where you actually have to like go after Nemesis.
Mm-hmm. Which you know, in the next Kingdom Hearts game we're going over, what is it called?
Chain of
again?
Memories.
Yeah, it's a retelling of the first game. In a way.
Just say no.
Yeah, no and yes.
That's kind of what Dark Side Chronicles is, Umbrella Chronicles and stuff.
So Hunk is basically like the badass of badasses.
Is he big, right?
No, he's fairly average size.
He's a
Okay.
SWAT dude with like a gas mask on.
See, when you say hunk, what I thought of was like a big, dark, like
I'm gonna try and show you a picture.
brutally man, but looked like the Hulk kind.
He's like, this is the John Wick of like the special forces, basically.
Basically, yeah. I'll show you real quick if I can get it fast enough.
So he's just like a total badass.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Who,
Oh wait, isn't that like? Oh wait, no, never mind.
you know,
I was thinking of Psycho from Metal Gear again.
It kind of looks like, but
yeah,
I mean,
but this
not as
guy,
badass.
this guy's like the John Wick of the special forces. Like,
Yeah.
he gets sent into shit that other people.
They
probably
called him
won't
the
come
Grim
back.
Reaper for a reason.
Yes, and I love that fucking nickname, by
Yeah.
the way.
So he was with them to assassinate Marcus. And of course, Spencer takes all the credit, takes the discovery. Oh, I made a big discovery of the T-virus. You know, I did it, not anybody else. And he begins to experiment with a certain person that was trapped in the mansion. You remember George?
Mm-hmm.
George and Jessica? Well, he begins to experiment on them and their daughter, Lisa Trevor. Does that name sound familiar at all?
The Trevor thing, like
You know
not
Lisa Trevor?
Oh,
is?
yeah, I know these trailers.
She was a big part in Resident Evil 1 Remake. She wasn't in the game at all until Resident Evil 1 Remake. They added her in.
Then no, I definitely don't know who it
Yeah.
is.
So Birkin uses her for experiments, which she begins to bond with some of it and mutate with regenerative capabilities, grows like Hades tentacles and shit, like some horrendous shit. But her anger grew and she began to kill researchers. So the people that were, doing research on her, she began to start killing them. And with this, new mutation sparking, he dubs it the G virus. So now we have the T virus and the G. G is a much more, what would you say, like more mutative than T? Not like as, it's a lot more violent. It's like, it makes you like very...
I guess whereas T would more often than not kill its host, G would mutate the fuck out of them.
G would also want to repopulate. That comes more into 2. But G has regenerative capabilities. T does not. So you can kill someone that's infected with a T virus. You can almost never kill one with G.
So the zombies we all see is all T, and only very few have G.
Very
Such
few.
as like the maybe bosses, or
Yeah.
okay.
Look at it this way: like the G virus, who are infected with the G virus,
You'd be fucked up.
Yeah, like if I was to cut your fucking legs off, you'd probably grow newer legs, bigger fucking legs.
Oh wait, so like in an episode and sorry, and
You're fine.
Resident Evil 5, I remember shooting someone's head off, and the head gets blown off. But when the head gets blown off, they fucking shoot out
Now
tentacles. And
that has to do. It was a part of the G virus mutation. They mixed it with something else.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, but so basically
But yeah,
the G virus, like you said, like it's almost like it tries to adapt itself so that you won't get killed as easily.
So
Like
if
if you get your fucking legs cut off, it'll grow new legs, but they'll be all fucked up. They'll be stronger and probably like impermeable to fucking bullets and shit like
and it'll start slowly taking over your mind. The more damage you take, the more the virus will take over your mind. But that comes much, much later. And Spencer hears and catches wind of this new new outbreak or this new, breakthrough, and doesn't kill him, but invests a huge underground lab underneath Raccoon City called Nest. So you know what Raccoon City is? It's the city outside of the Arclay Mountains.
Actually, no. I know that Raccoon
the
City.
name?
Yeah, I know the name City, and I think that's where the first outbreak happens, but I'm not sure.
Second. The first one happens in the Arclay. We'll get there.
the Arclay Mountains.
So that was from about 1970s to 80s. So in 1996, Wesker joins STARS, which is the Special Tactics and Rescue Squad. Do you know about those?
Mm-mm.
It's basically the SWAT team for Raccoon City. It's the special forces of the police department. for Raccoon
Okay,
City.
so are they just humans?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
As an undercover agent, Wesker joins them for Umbrella as the captain of Alpha Team, and at this point, Umbrella is spiraling out of control. So they have done research, but Lisa Trevor's killing people. Some of the bioweapons are starting to break out. They're starting to infect other people in the labs, and it's just going all to shit. And can you hear me okay? It's got really quiet in here.
Yeah, you're sorry. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I thought I heard air going on. It's no, it's really quiet.
It's
fine.
No, you're fine.
Okay. So it's going all to shit, and investigators are starting to catch wind of, some of the killings. There's things going on in the Arclay Mountains. And am I too loud?
No, it is a lot more quiet.
Is it?
Without the headphones.
And
You want to use them?
oh no, you're fine.
Okay.
Go ahead. So they send in Wesker to join STARS to basically be an undercover agent and kind of steer away the police department. I'm here, everything's fine. Don't go in the Arclay Mountains. It's fine. But
he's the guy that would stand right there and over a mutilated body and be like, bears.
So if he's in a dead body in the Arclay Mountains, he's like, well, no human could have done that. Fucking bears.
Well, what's that over there? That kind of stuff.
What's that? Kind of shit. So he joins STARS long enough to, keep them at bay. And while he's keeping them at bay, everybody in the labs are erasing witnesses. Starting to fucking kill people. Kill researchers, kill BOWs so they don't spread out.
So this what we're talking about right now. Is this still Village or is this Resident Evil 1?
This is leading up to the events of Resident Evil 1. Village will come much, 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 much later.
Yeah, you're like...
I mentioned Village because that was the origin of Oswald Expense.
As of what we're talking about now, is this Resident Evil 1 theory?
This is before.
Yeah, this is going right into it, basically.
Okay.
You're about to get to the main fucking event.
Yeah. So, with all the killings, he joins STARS. all the BOWs are getting killed, or at least most of them. Some of them are getting out and infecting other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's starting to become an outbreak in the mansion. Which, when this happens, they tell Wesker, you need to start collecting these embryos so that we don't lose the research, but so it doesn't, it stays contained.
Mm-hmm.
That beep.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure. You keep talking.
You're fine. I gotta go to my phone anyways.
You're good. Just making sure.
So...
Hey, look, not fucking losing footage today. I'm so tired of it.
This is done, finally. So, now we're gonna move on closer to Resident Evil 0. Raccoon City citizens demand answers over various reports of murders going around, and in truth, instead of Wesker saying, it's just bears, it's not nothing like this, it's actually Cerberus. It's the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
You remember in the first movie, these zombie dogs, it's those. Those are what's killing everybody. They're infected with the T-virus, and a massive viral leak occurs at the Arclay laboratory underneath the Spencer Mansion. So, all hell breaks loose. The BOW start infecting researchers, people that were staying in the mansion, everything. They're starting to fucking die. So, in July 23rd, the events of Resident Evil 0 take place. As the murders pile up around Arclay Mountain, STARS send Bravo team to go figure out what the fuck's going on. And Umbrella sends 2 teams, but one of the teams is wiped out by BOWs, aka Wesker. Wesker does that to keep them away. And the other one, the helicopter crashes. Who is in the helicopter is... I think so. Yeah. Is Rebecca Chambers. Do you know Rebecca Chambers?
That also sounds familiar, but no.
She was in the Mercenaries mode for Resident Evil 5. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know
Wait, the
her.
DLC?
Yes.
I did play the DLC, I think.
She's the girl that was the medic. She has like a flamethrower as a special.
Damn it. I just remember
She was like a very, very little.
Yeah, Rebecca Chambers is small.
She starts out being an 18-year-old rookie. Every rookie has a bad day in this game.
Honestly, that sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like 18 years old, you're just starting out, and now all this shit's happening, you gotta figure out.
She's very tech-savvy and very smart. She's just a rookie. So, her team's helicopter crash lands due to Wesker sabotaging it.
Mm-hmm.
So, they were in turn sent to die, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't. She lives. Bravo team discovers the wreckage of one of the convoys with everybody dead, but an accused murderer, Billy Cohen. You
Never heard that name.
Yeah, I don't think so. I want him to come back. He's not in any other game besides 0.
Yeah, man, it's kind of weird that
bullshit.
he never made
So is Barry.
a fucking return. Well,
Barry is in a few games. I want him in more.
he's yeah, well, I mean, he's yeah, you're right. He's a big part of 1, but then like he brings nothing substantial in his later appearances. It's more like a cameo at that point. It's like, hey,
True.
Barry.
So who's Barry?
He's one of the STARS members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's the one under Wesker. So, Chambers also discovers the abandoned Umbrella-owned train, the Ecliptic Express. I'm kind of brushing by this.
Mm-hmm.
Where all the passengers were infected. And throughout the game, which we're now in Resident Evil 0, I'm just kind of brushing by it. Throughout the game, you're seeing a figure. Just what looks to be a figure standing on a mountain. Just like overlooking everything. You can't see what it is, but you just kind of, you're looking at it.
Is it a human figure or?
It could be. You don't
Okay.
know. Now I don't. Did you play 0 at all?
The only I guess experience I had with 0 was, I think it might have been one of the freaking games for, I'm gonna say PlayStation 3, where it's like an on-rail shooter type.
That might have been Umbrella Chronicles.
It might have been, but I know that those games kind of just rush through the story. It's more like, every story is like a stage, like a scenario.
Basically, it's a retelling.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're seeing this figure, and you're trying to get through this train to stop it because it's it's still going. It's pulling like a speed, and you're trying to stop the train. You're dealing with infected people everywhere. And once you get the train to stop, it stops at an old Umbrella training facility. And after killing your way through, you stop it. Whatever. After you kill your way through, it reveals who that figure is. It's Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
So Marcus, whenever he was doing his research, he was creating something called a Queen Leech. So right as he was finishing it up, they assassinated him. He falls and dies. Well, the Queen Leech enters in his body, gains his memories, his personality. Did it actually, or are you fucking with me? Because I don't know.
I was trying to get a reaction.
I don't know.
But it would have been fucking epic, though.
Right?
I, at this point, you could literally say anything, and I would just believe you. I'm like, okay, I'm gotta have the logic with this now.
So
then yes,
we'll just say that he entered through his ass, and the leech basically takes over his body and becomes Marcus, but with like control over anybody that's infected with these leeches. So all the zombies that you've been fighting in the game and that figure was Marcus's doing, or the leech that takes over Marcus, kind of thing. So Marcus is alive. He's not dead until you kill him. Spoiler, you end up killing him in the game. After putting the train back on track, you end up, finding out it's Marcus. He's new, mutated, and you have to kill him before the facility blows up by Wesker, because Wesker's trying to cover all his tracks. And it blows up. You guys escape. Again, I'm skipping over a shit ton of
Wait,
stuff.
you say you guys, as in...
Do what?
Wait, you said you guys escape?
Yeah, Rebecca and Billy.
Oh, wait, Billy... So...
Billy Cohen, I'm sorry. I don't know, I'm probably confused the shit out of you. Whenever Rebecca finds the military convoy, she finds Billy. And is like, look, we're going to have to work together to kind of get this train to stop.
Yeah.
So throughout all this, you're working with each other using a zapping system.
So wait,
go ahead.
but Billy, you said, was he the one that you said was under Wesker?
No, that's Barry.
that's Barry.
Barry, okay.
Yeah, Barry.
Billy is like I guess like a convict, basically.
Yeah, he's a convicted murderer.
So, okay, that makes total sense then.
Yeah.
Because I was like, so she's working with the bad guy and doesn't even know it.
No.
But never mind, okay.
So you two work together, you defeat Marcus, the whole facility blows up because of Wesker. And, they're both presumed dead. So Rebecca's like, look, I trust you now, and I'm going to give you your freedom. So she lets him go, and then she goes off to look for Alpha Team. Now, at this point, they know that Bravo Team has crashed, aka Rebecca's unit. They crashed. So they send in Alpha Team. Alpha Team is consistent of Wesker. So we're going to jump a little bit behind. So it consists of Wesker, Chris, Jill, Barry,
Joseph.
No, Kenneth was Bravo.
Brad Vickers.
Brad Vickers, yes.
He was a helicopter.
Yeah,
pilot.
wait, yeah, sorry.
You good?
So Wesker, you said he went there undercover. So everyone else is actually like...
Everyone else is a part of the STARS unit of
so everyone else is actually
help.
good, and Wesker's the only one
Wesker's the only
No
dick.
one knows what Wesker is up to.
Yep.
Like,
now, technically, that's a spoiler, but I mean...
honestly,
You
if
have
I saw
to.
him, I wouldn't...
but here's the thing, though. Like, we already know, and he already knows that Wesker is a bad guy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you know what, fuck this. He's a bad guy, he does bad shit.
So... they don't even know that he's undercover. They don't know anything.
So when you're playing the game the way it came out, is it revealed that like, oh, Wesker's a bad guy, or do you also already know as you're playing?
No, it's revealed.
Yeah, like as the story progresses, you start kind
Piecing
of
it together.
Out. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, but you already know he's a bad guy, so I was like, you know
if
what?
I had to guess, one of them was the bad guy, I'd be like,
It's the guy with sunglasses.
Yeah. Of course.
It was the 90s.
Like, go ahead.
All right, so now I have no more notes. I'm just going to go off memory for a second until we get to the actual game.
Okay.
So they send in Alpha Team, and this is where we get the very first part of the game, the cutscene. So Alpha Team sent in to...
Which, by the way, the intro to Resident Evil 1 was a fucking lost art that I wish they would do more often.
The live action?
Live action
I
fucking
think I
cutscenes.
have it. I don't know.
So,
Give me 1 second.
How long was it? And was it have like a lot of action or
Oh, it was
no,
stupid
man!
as
It was
fuck.
it was fuck. It's something you could have made in your backyard.
Yeah.
No, wait, check this out. So for years now,
Do you want me to show him, or do you want to just say it?
well, you can show them here in a minute, but
Okay.
for years now, I've been wanting to remake that fucking intro with minimal preparation, just to have like a side by side comparison, because it's terrible. Like, but I fucking love it.
So do I have your permission just to show up your house one day with my camera and be like, we're shooting?
Bro, let's fucking
right
do
now.
it, man.
You better call me. I'll be doing it with you.
I'll be Barry.
Yes. I'll call Jill.
Can I be Wesker if he's in it?
Yeah, he's in it.
No, I can't. I don't have hair, dude. I can't.
Dude, we'll get you a fucking wig.
I can't do him that.
My
injustice.
sister is what do you call it? Beautician.
I also don't
guess?
have a beard. Does any of them have a beard?
Barry. You can be Barry. Well,
Okay.
Barry's also redheaded, so
That's true. Yeah.
I don't have any hair, dog.
It's okay. We'll draw it on. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure my sister has a red wig laying around.
There we go.
But I do want to show you, but that'll probably be afterward.
Sure.
Okay. So they send an alpha team and they land. They figure out, shit's gone, fucking haywire. People are dead and they don't know why. They don't know how. And then they hear this kind of, chomping noise. It's like, what the fuck is that?
When you say this, some people in, is this where the helicopter crashed, or like to the mansion, or to...
It's where the helicopter crashed. So
Okay.
this is where
And
Bravo team.
They went
that
to the
in-
last known location of
Is that in
Bravo
Raccoon
team.
City?
It's in
Or
the
is
Arclay Mountains.
It's
Where's
in
it?
the outskirts of Raccoon City and at the Arclay Mountains. It's technically still like fucking raccoons.
Basically.
Okay, so when you say the Arclay Mountains,
Mhm.
where is that? Just like
Well, picture like Dalton.
Yeah, and you see the
and
mountain?
then fucking
okay,
yeah.
okay,
Basically, yeah, it's like right off the side of us. That's how,
gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
And the citizens do know something's going on.
They know that there's been a lot of murderers, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
Why are
like-
they dying?"
Like people fucking hikers and shit like that
Mhm.
turn up dead, and that's what starts raising up suspicions. Like there's a lot of people that disappear, and people that are found are fucking look like they got eaten alive or whatever.
And Wesker's like, "Yeah, it's a fucking bear. Don't worry about it.
oh,
Quit. Just
bears.
fuck off."
That's
And they're like, "Nah, it ain't a fucking bear."
So
What the hell's going on?"
that wasn't a joke. That's actually what they say. Is like bears.
Basically, yeah.
basically.
Okay.
They're trying to like push it under the rug, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's under the rug?" What is
That
it?"
was Wesker's job. When people started to get suspicious that something else was going on in the mountains,
They put him in
Yeah.
stars so that he could kind of brush everybody away, so that he can be like, "Look, these killings are just natural in the wood. They just don't know what the fuck to
yeah,
do."
it's
When really it's like, oh, it's the outbreak of the fucking virus. Because what the chomping noise is the dogs. It's the Cerberus. They're eating the old Bravo team members and the hikers and stuff. So in the cutscene, I don't know if it's in the live action one, but in the cutscene, these are supposed to be very trained members, stars members, special tactics and rescue squad. Okay, very, very trained members. They can't even shoot fucking straight. The one that actually hits him is Wesker. The only, I shit you not, the only one that actually hits one of the dogs that's coming after them is Wesker. The rest of them panic.
And okay, let me just go over real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said there was Chris, Jill, Billy,
Barry.
Barry, Wesker. There's another one.
Brad
Joseph.
Vickers and Joseph.
Wait, sorry. Which one of the ones?
Brad Vickers. He was the pilot that got them there.
Brad Vickers was the pilot. Joseph was another member. He's the one with the red bandana.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when they land and they're getting attacked by dogs, Brad just fucks off. He just takes the helicopter and says "fuck y'all" and leaves. And they're like, "No, don't go. Come back."
Which his peers, the nickname they gave him was Chicken Heart
Yeah.
because he
chickened out.
panicked like a lot. He'd fucking scared easily.
Is he not a main character after that?
He plays a good part in 3.
He
but
comes back he comes
after
back
that,
at some
no.
point.
So not really. He just kind of fucks off. And you're stuck in the mountains with these fucking dogs. So in the cutscene, they're all like, head to the house, the big house, the big fucking mansion. So then they all run and they end up in a mansion. And Chris is lost.
Joseph got killed during the dog attack.
Oh,
By
yeah.
the way.
Joseph was mauled to fucking death.
Oh, so he's not the main character
No.
at all. So he's
fucking dead.
unimportant.
I'm trying to get all the details while also trying to go over all the main characters because there's a lot. So we then begin Resident Evil 1 Remake.
Okay, so the ones who are in the mansion is Chris, Jill.
The one that's in the mansion right now is Jill, Wesker, Barry, and Chris is lost. So we don't know where Chris is. But before we start the actual game, we're going to actually go over some of the actual stuff in the game. When you start, you'll be greeted with the setup stuff, the display, wide and original.
So is this the remake or is this the original?
This is the remake.
Okay.
The original you kind of can't play without a PS1.
Gotcha, yeah.
Because the PS4 doesn't do backwards compatibility. Controls, you have alternate and original. Do you know about tank controls?
Yeah.
So alternate is kind of like the new stuff. Whenever you press down, your character will go down. The original is tank controls. Of course, subtitles and stuff. So that's that. And then you got this, which is the difficulty. So can you read that at all?
Let's see. Like climbing a mountain, fulfilling, but takes a lot of work. That's number 1.
Yep.
Number 2 says, like going on a bike. Good exercise, but not too strenuous. Number 3 says, like taking a walk. You can relax and enjoy yourself.
So how do you like your games?
Like he likes his man, black.
I would do number 2
wait, that's
probably.
coffee.
Yeah, then that's basically normal.
Yeah. I would, but honestly, if I played the game, depends how much. Here recently, been me playing games story-wise, I automatically kind of go for the harder difficulty now, just because.
You would probably need to go for hard because that's probably the most fun. Because easy, it's not really a breeze. It's just kind of.
You just get more ammo and more ink ribbons.
Which that's another thing why this has taken me so long is because a lot of this game has to do with choice, like your choice to deal with whatever's coming after you, which will probably come into effect later. So whenever you start the game, you're greeted with 2 characters you can play as, Chris or Jill. Now, I know it said Chris was lost, but if you play as Chris, then the other members are lost. So if you play as Jill, Chris is lost. If you play as Chris, Jill, Barry, and Wesker are lost. If you play as Jill, you have 8 inventory slots. So you can only carry 8 things. Whereas if you play with Chris, you have 6. So... I mean, that's kind of like where you can pick or choose. Jill has a lockpick that she gets from Barry to open...
Because she is the master
of unlocking. Yes. So she can unlock damn near every door. Chris has to find old keys.
Side note, do you know, like, why they call her the master of unlocking?
I think it's because whenever she was going through training, every lock door that they had, she was able to get through it.
Because that always bugged the shit out of me. Like,
I remember reading something about it, but I can't be sure. Like those little details, I don't know very much of. It's just they always called her the master of unlocking, and that's why they give her a lockpick.
I mean, she doesn't have a keyblade, but whatever.
True,
but
I listened to the novelization of the first game, and there's a lot of plot points that they've changed. And so, like, that's one of the things that they kind of spent some time talking about, like, Jill's background. That's why I was asking, like, if that's similar or if that's the same as in the game.
They don't ever say it, but I remember reading something about it, like, during her training, she impressed everybody by the way she was able to unlock almost every door.
Because, like, in the novelization thing that I was listening to, which made no fucking sense to me, is apparently she... this is the novel, by the way.
It could be a completely different thing to do.
Completely different thing. Apparently, like, she was basically a crook, like a fucking master thief at one point before she joined Stars. Her father, what's his fucking name? Richard Valentine, I think is what it was.
Wait, that sounds really familiar. Is that like a key?
Not really. It's
character?
just like it literally is just like background to Jill. So apparently, like, her father trained her on how to use fucking lockpicks and shit, and that's how she got the name Master of Unlocking.
Which is why in the game you get a lockpick with her, and why Chris has to find old fucking keys everywhere.
Does he have a bonus to go? Like, so she has a lockpick.
He has a lighter, I think, but I don't know if that's just on the remake.
I believe he has a lighter. But another bullshit is when you play as Jill, you start off with a handgun and a knife. You play as Chris, you got a knife.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think if I played the game anyway, I started off with either one, I would probably go with Jill. Whatever reason, I like playing like women in games that are just badasses.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I don't know why. I think it's just a lot cooler to have a woman who's a badass. But
which I think Jill is more canon because throughout the series, Jill will talk about the Spencer Mansion incident and go into a little bit more detail. Like, oh, I remember this, and Chris would be like, yeah.
He kind of fucks off after this game.
Well, yeah, and also like Chris was the main character in 5, right? And I mean, honestly, Chris is just pretty basic. I mean.
He's basically Captain
he's
America.
A man,
In
he
number
punches
5,
the boulder, like I said.
In number 5, like, if you look at his character model, to me, he always looked like fucking Paul Walker. So, like,
True.
Me and my buddies always call him Paul Walker.
Paul Walker and Vin Diesel had like a child.
We, we played a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom back in the day. And we would call the characters by the actor's name. Like, Captain America is, what's his face?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. Oh, man, you gonna get Chris Evans? Like, fuck yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna get Chris Hemsworth and we get Thor, So that's how we, man, get that Paul Walker out here, man. So, yeah, that's how we refer to them. Anyway.
That's too good.
I do agree, though, that Jill is probably, like, the actual canon story.
Not to say that Chris isn't canon, but this is where it kind of gets, interpretual. Depending on what you play will, differentiate. Because if you play as Jill, you have to go find Chris. If you play as Chris, you have to go find Jill. But throughout the series, Jill will mention the Spencer incident and actually have, like, PTSD parts of it. Chris kind of won't. He won't really talk about it very much. So that's why I'm like, oh, well, if you play as Jill, it kind of makes more sense. Because you even get to play as Jill in 3, and that's where you get a lot of the insights of it. So, yeah. You got any questions so far? Anything?
Nah. I mean, no.
I wouldn't blame you if you're confused, honestly.
No, I'm not confused.
It's a lot to swallow.
So, the lighter that Chris would get, is that for, like, something else, or is it just for dark rooms?
No, it's for something else. There's not really any dark rooms. You kind of just, you can see everything. It's not really about...
I thought it was supposed to be scary, man.
It is, but it's more...
Which, and this is, once again, we're talking about the new movie. One of the things that I did like, one of the scenes that I did like was that scene with Chris in the mansion where everything's pitch black.
Yeah, and he uses a fucking lighter.
And, like, you see, like, him, like, popping off shots. And, like, because you got the big muzzle flare going on. You'll see, like, zombies coming in and stuff. And that fucking particular scene to me, that was great. There's a great cinematic way of showing, like, claustrophobia and just the fear of, like, you not knowing what's out there in the dark. That to me was a great sequence. Like, because you can actually hear Chris panicking too, like, while he's popping off shots. And normally, you play the game and you're like, all right, it's badass is killing zombies. But you never put yourself in that scenario.
True.
Like, what would it be like if it was a real thing? You'd be scared to shitless.
So the lighter, is it like a flamethrower?
No, it's like a little Zippo lighter. Kind of thing.
So he doesn't. What else does he use the lighter for?
The main use for it, and I know, like I was saying, in the remake he does have the lighter.
What did he have in the original? Do you know?
I don't remember what he had in the original, but I know that in the remake, when you kill a zombie, they don't just disappear.
No, they stick around.
Yeah, they'll stay on the spot. Like they'll die and stay on the spot. And at some point, this is because these games are known for having so much backtracking. You're bound to come back to a spot where you killed a zombie, and they'll get back up. They'll mutate.
Fuck?
Yeah, they'll fucking mutate.
You gotta be. That's why I'm saying this game is all about choice. You have to either do I just run past him or do I fucking kill him and waste precious ammo? Because you also have a fucking boss after this, and it's like
So if you kill him, let's say you go through a hall, right? You kill him. And then later on, hours later, you'll come back through that hall because of storytelling.
So if you brush by him, you're not thinking, you'll come back and you'll get fucking eaten. You're like,
but at this point, it's not just the regular ass zombie that you killed. He mutated into what they call crimson heads. Crimson heads are faster, and they're fucking the tips of their bones and their fingers are like razor claws, basically.
I want to see if I have
So,
something like that, but I don't.
The reason you have a lighter is because
you can burn the
you
bodies.
can burn the bodies when you kill them, so that when you have to come back through that same area, they're not there anymore.
But you can't just go around every fucking zombie. Like, you have to have kerosene.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
There's so many choices to make, especially in the first 3 games. You got so many choices.
Even the remake, like, you have a lot of different choices you can do. But yeah, so Chris has the lighter, Jill has the lockpick. So you kind of pick between, do I want to open every door, or do I want to have like a safe way to, make sure
That is actually like a good choice to have.
It's like, which one? So, and you also have different story points. Chris will do some things that Jill won't, and Jill will do some things that Chris won't. Which, whenever you start the game, it'll say enter the survival horror. And when you play as Jill, it'll say there are only 3 stars members left now. Which she's not counting herself. Well, she actually is, because you don't know if Chris is alive or dead right now. So, we have now actually started it, and we went past the cutscene, and you, which is Jill, Barry, and Wesker, go into the mansion out of breath, and they're like, wait, where's Chris? He's not fucking with us. And Wesker's like, don't open that door. That. And what's cool is in the original 1996, if you actually turned around and opened the door 3 times, a dog would spawn. So an actual dog would actually go in and start attacking you and shit. I don't know. Did they do that in the remake? Do you know?
I think you could just.
Nice.
I think when you go to the door, there's a text coming up saying like you can't go outside or something like that. I don't think they actually do that whole thing, but I do remember that was a thing back in the original. And
basically Jill's like, we can't just leave him behind. I know he's alive because I just, but I don't know where he is. So Wesker's like, all right, God, shut up. We'll split up. You and Barry take this way and I'll go this way. And she's like, okay. So you and Barry go through here, and one thing to know about Barry is he's an expert in firearms. So he has this big-ass revolver that could pistol whip a school bus kind of shit. It's called the Miranda Rights.
Badass name, if you ask me.
Or it's called the Silver Serpent, but I remember in Resident Evil 5, The Mercenaries, whenever you had a zombie on the ground, he would pull the revolver out, and it's called the Miranda Rights, and he'd fucking pop 2 shots on him.
Wait, so no, it's a Smith & Wesson, the big one in Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. It's
basically the same thing, but it just looks a little different. Do you remember in Fast and Furious, do you remember Hobbs' big revolver?
No.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
No.
But you enter in here, and then it looks like that. Your basic gun is the, not 1911, M92F, or the Samurai Edge, because every STARS member has their own unique pistol. Their own unique Samurai Edge. Jill's is for accuracy, Chris is for speed, Barry's is everything, Wesker is for power. It kind of goes to their personality. So, which you kind of see that in the Resident Evil 2 remake. You're able to use Chris, Jill's, and Wesker's. You can't use Barry's until the very end of Resident Evil 1. You unlock it as a special weapon. I think does it have infinite ammo, or does it just do more damage?
I think it does more damage.
I don't remember.
But that was like a thing back in the day where...
Whenever you beat the game, you get like an infinite ammo weapon that's like overpowered, so you can just fucking blast through it.
You mean before DLC and shit like that?
Yeah, you had cool shit.
And that's also the reason why a lot of the games at the time, like, Resident Evil will give you different characters to play as for that replay value. Because not only do you have 2 different storylines, but you also have multiple endings in some of these games.
Do you care if I go use the bathroom?
Yeah, go for it. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pause this real quick, and I'm going to smoke a cigarette too.
Okay, cool.
Just take a break. Well, we just made it to episode 1, by the way, and we are an hour and 30 minutes almost.
Whew, Lord.
How much more time do you have?
As much as you guys want. It's Saturday, so.
I would like to get more into this, because this is my favorite fucking game of the series, number 1.
All right. Number 1 is?
Yeah.
Like I said...
It's more nostalgia than anything, really.
We just like barely scraped the we're right here, and I still have all of this.
Dude, I told you. I told you the notes, man. Like, probably a bit much. We'll be right back. Thank you. We are back from the break, and we was actually just talking outside about inventory and things. And I was saying that I am very bad because you said I don't know which game it is, but if you get a knife and you try to stab, it breaks at some point. Or you try to kill.
Resident Evil 2 Remake, it did that. You would the more you use it, the more it would wear and tear, and eventually it would break, and you have to find another one.
See, yeah, my problem is I try to save ammo as much as I possible can, and I will I always start. I mean, not restart it, but just die over and over and over, just that way I can just get them with melee or whatever. That way I can save the ammo for the boss, and most of the time not even use it for the boss because I gotta save for a bigger boss.
All right, so here's the thing. Let's talk about like some gameplay mechanics before we get back into the story.
Are you gonna wear those? I'll just tell
use them. Yeah.
Right.
It is a lot quieter without these on.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the biggest game mechanic that was like a thing, at least in the first game, was inventory. You really had to know how to manage it because everything took up a slot. And you know, with Chris, you had 6 slots for 6 items. With Jill, you had 8, but it starts to get complicated the further you get into the game. For example, you wanted to save the game, you need an ink ribbon.
And you also have to find typewriters.
Yeah, typewriter.
You can't just save wherever you want.
Yeah. So
wait, a typewriter?
You have to go to a certain room in the mansion. There's certain rooms, and there's a typewriter. You go to it, you use an ink ribbon, and you could save.
So, in game theory, you're writing down like what's happened?
Basically,
okay, making sure.
So that's basically what it was. But yeah, so that's where the inventory kind of comes into play. Do you want to save the game, or do you want to pick something else up to maybe take out an enemy?
But they do kind of give you a little bit of leniency because in the save rooms they have something called a item box.
Yes.
It's a limitless box that you could just dump your shit in whenever you're out, but it's only in the save rooms.
How spread out are these safe rooms?
They're we're talking like corners of the mansion, maybe 1 or 2 in the lab.
Like few and far in between, man.
So whenever you get there, it's like because no enemy can spawn in there.
But you know, basically, like if you put something in, like let's say like the mansion like item box, later on when you're like down in the lab, you can access it in that item box.
Yeah, it's like magic. So if you did it like up in the mansion, you put like a handgun in there, you go in the lab, go in the same item box, it'll have your handgun in there. So it's like whatever you put in there, you can have access to in any item box.
Nice.
Unless you play on the very hard difficulty where they cancel that. I'm not kidding. You have to actually go to that specific item box to get whatever you put in that one.
So is
like
this mansion, is it like very far away, like where you start from like the middle of the game?
It's just convoluted. It's very intricate.
There's like many hallways, many doors, many rooms.
Which is why I'm like, do you want me to go in like detail? Because it's like, okay, the 3rd floor on the right hallway, the 3rd left door. You went too far. Go back left. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
3rd floor on the left hallway. You're gone too far. I got it. No, I'm just kidding.
But so the other thing about the item boxes is that yes, in the harder difficulties, that whole thing got canceled. Where you know you're basically forced to go back to that box. But because there's so few of them, to some extent, that's also like a hurdle because if you're not close to another item box, you're gonna be forced to backtrack to wherever you last on an item box to retrieve whatever item you need.
Okay, I have a question. If you play as Jill, since she can unlock any door, can you get farther in the game faster with Jill?
Now, when I say she can unlock any door, and what I mean by that is any door that can be unlocked with the lockpick, she can unlock. Whereas Chris has to unlock those specific doors with a key, with an old key.
Well, the way I imagine it is like you can't get through this part of the game because this door's locked.
I would say like it's more like you have access to some rooms before you would with Chris, but
it's just a little bit more of a burden with Chris. You have to find you have to find an old key to unlock a door, whereas with Jill, you always have a lockpick.
Well,
Sorry, the cat was scratching on the door. Get out of here. But anyway, sorry.
You're fine. So yeah, it's more of like you can't just blast through the mansion because you have a lockpick. Now, certain doors require certain keys.
And that's like a fucking theme throughout the series, really.
Gotcha.
Which honestly, if you want to play a game like that, that's kind of a mixture of 1 and 5. Revelations is a good one. I like Revelations.
I downloaded. It might have been like the first part to that at some point.
What is Revelations? Is it like it's on?
It's based after 4, but before 5. It basically mixes the gameplay aspect of 5 and 1 remake.
Gotcha.
Over the shoulder, but very limited ammo. No inventory management, but you're backtracking kind of stuff. It's cool. It's a good game. But do you want to go ahead and go back to story? Or you want to just keep going? I don't really.
I mean, we can go to story because yeah, I think that's about all the questions I had.
Okay. So Wesker has to split you up. So you and Barry go down a dining room. Wesker fucks off. And that's the dining room down there. And at the very end, there is a fireplace. And at the fireplace, Barry notices some blood.
Funny thing about that is that anyone could tell you it was blood.
You better take a look at this.
Barry does this thing where he like looks at it, leans down, even does it.
It's blood.
So is voice acting? You're probably gonna say no, but I hope you say yes. Is voice acting also bad in the remake?
It's not good.
It's purposely bad because it's based around the old 96 one.
Okay, good.
So it's like
I want to experience that.
It's good actors doing a purposeful bad job. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my favorite parts as far as voice acting and how terrible it was in the first game is near the end when shit's getting revealed. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about like near the end. Mm-hmm. I think it's right before Wesker kind of gets his. He's making his fucking plot reveals and all that shit, and I can't remember if it was Chris or Barry who in a very fucking offbeat way goes, "Go to hell," and the tone of it just like makes no fucking sense. Like it's almost like he's thinking out loud as opposed to like showing that anger or that frustration towards what's happening.
Oh, okay. That makes it more kind. It is no expression. Just go to hell.
Pretty much, dude. Like Wesker's over here, saying like, oh, like umbrella this and that, and now I was the bad guy the whole time, and then. Go to hell.
Is there a reason why Wesker has not just killed those two?
Basically just to kind of keep them off his trail. He's not killing them yet because I guess you could say at this point he hasn't been told to kill them yet. He's just been told to kind of keep them away from everything.
Well, that and the fact that like he purposely lured them to the mansion
to get them
for
killed.
Combat data on the BOWs.
Oh, okay.
So whenever Spencer told him, "Hey, get the embryos," he's also saying, use the BOWs whenever you bring them here. See how they work.
Because the STARS members were supposed to be the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're gonna sell the BOWs to the military, they want to test them against somebody that has military-like skill. Mm-hmm. So
he's doing a far better job of explaining this shit than I ever would.
Oh hell no, man! You got way better fucking notes. But that was like one of the main things the reasons why he didn't kill them off right off the bat, because he needed to retrieve combat data. This is one of the things he needed to take out of the mansion, basically.
So it's even cooler because I was thinking like maybe Wesker is not as cool as I thought, and he didn't want to face everybody by himself.
No, honestly, he probably could. Because these guys are kind of dumbasses. At least some of them are. Right now, they're kind of dumbasses. They don't really know what they're doing. So, they investigate the blood. And Barry's like, I hope it's not Chris's blood. I hope I hope it's not. I'll sit here and then keep investigating this. You keep searching. basically.
Yeah, it's like you go this way, I'll go home, basically.
He's like, I'm gonna keep searching this, but you go away.
Wait, does the blood or?
Yeah, he fucking
I'm gonna
sits
keep-
there for
I'm
like
gonna
2
keep
hours staring at
investigating
this puddle,
blood.
dude.
You keep going. So, I don't know if I'm gonna move these headphones
Oh, go
that you
for it.
can see.
I'll just put them over here.
But Jill is right around there. She's going through that door.
Mm-hmm.
And through that door, you go up through the hallway, and that's where you meet your first infected.
Yes, that scene of like him eating something and him turning around.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
the
that.
iconic. Yeah,
That is
So
the fucking iconic.
there's like some dude that's like writhing on the ground, like getting fucked up, and then this zombie. In the original one, it doesn't show the person getting eaten. It's just the zombie turned his head. In the director cut, it shows a head falling, like landing, turning its head. Half of it's eaten. The head is like, ripped off, and then the zombie turns its head. So it's like really much more gruesome.
So I should put this is not for kids when it goes on YouTube. Okay, let's make sure.
Fuck no.
But no,
Fuck them kids, bro.
and
Right?
the new movie it's supposed to be like 1 or 2 together, right?
Yep.
Does that have that
a
scene?
Weird
Yes.
fucking mixture. Oh yeah, dude. The one of the things that I did like about this movie is
They
that
paid a lot of homages,
yeah, there was a lot of fan service, bro.
but a lot of it, I didn't like Leon. I'm sorry,
Dude,
I didn't. I'll get to that, but they ruined him.
Is Leon in? No, I'm gonna ask is Leon in 1 at all, but don't actually tell me because
I'll tell you, he was introduced in 2.
Okay.
So Chris and Jill are not in 2. 2 is its own separate. 2 is its own separate entity. 3 is where 2 and 1 become merged. Does that
So
make
it's
sense?
like since they were on the mountain or in the mansion or wherever it's at, is 2 also taking place there and 1 just in a separate
No,
area?
2 takes place 3 months after.
Yeah.
1.
Okay.
So it is an actual sequel. But if you were to go across events, the first half of 3 is the outbreak of Raccoon City. Then at that half, Resident Evil 2, the entire game, and then the last half of 3. Which
There's like a couple points, I guess, where if 2 and 3 would overlap, like timeline wise, but that is not to say that like the characters in 2 and 3 interact. It's more like
they happen at the same time.
yeah,
Oh,
more
so-
like let's say fucking Leon went through this room, and 2. And then at some point in 3, you playing as Jill, you go through that same room, and whatever Leon touched or moved or whatever, it's been moved. So the timelines kind of like overlap at some point, but the characters never interact with each other. So like you could go and do something like in a room over there, like blow something up, and then later on,
Leon will say something like, "Oh, this-
somebody blew this shit up."
Yeah, so it's like little kind of things like, "Oh, I did that there. That's how this happened," But none of it's hard to explain. Resident Evil 1 is its own thing that happens at its own time from start to finish.
Yeah.
2 and 3 is where they kind of start going into each other. So 1, this is its own kind of thing. This is where it kind of all starts in the Arcway Mountains. So you meet the zombie, you kind of panic, and you have 2 choices. You can either shoot the shit out of him, which it don't take like 2 bullets, and mind you, it's a fixed camera angle. You don't have a laser sight. Your character either aims it, goes up or down, or left or right, and it will automatically do the shooting for you, basically, once you press the button. So either you shoot him like 10 times and he goes down, or you can run. And when you run, you can go back to Barry. And Jill will say, Barry, fucking monster, get him. And you know how I mentioned this big ass revolver Barry has? Okay, so Barry's like, I'll handle it. He gets this big ass revolver, shoots him, okay? Nothing. Shoots him. Nothing. Shoots him again. Finally drops. It takes 3 shots from his revolver just to drop him. And it's supposed to be this big badass thing.
Big fucking hand cannon, basically.
And it took 3 shots to kill it.
So what did they say after that?
Well, nothing. It's like, he's dead. What the fuck is that? No, they don't mention it. It's like, oh, I killed him. I'm sorry, And you find out that zombie was eating a part of Bravo team. Kenneth, I believe.
Yeah, I think it is Kenneth.
Which, it says I found Kenneth killed by this thing. And Barry's like, let's go report this to Wesker. And they go back to the main hall, and Wesker's not there.
Yeah,
because he told them to split
gone.
up.
Mm-hmm.
He's over there like, you and Jill go that way. I'll stay here. And you come back and he's fucking gone. He took off on y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't want to stay in the main
Right?
spot with all the doorways either. I mean, I'm just saying.
And so Barry's like,
I don't know, man. I beg to differ. Like,
because where everything's coming from.
Yeah, you'd be able to see it, but you also wouldn't be able to like
go anywhere because you can't go behind you.
I mean, you could go all through any of the doorways, but like, it's a double-edged sword. I don't know if it's a double-edged sword. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but still, like, I would agree.
You get advantage to see everything.
You
but also get advantage to get invaded a lot easier.
By everything.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, they don't see Wesker anywhere, and Barry's like, "Okay, we need to find Wesker and Chris. Let's both split up." Mm-hmm. It's like, okay,
because that's always a good idea.
Yeah, let's fucking split up.
If you use guns, does it attract more?
No, not in this game. No, it's just like, do you want to waste your precious ammo on this one zombie, or do you want to save it for something that you might really need it later on? Which, if you know where to find the ammo, you should have a good amount. Mm-hmm. But if you don't know where to look, you're going to be kind of scavenging. So Barry says, we can look for him separately, and that's where he gives her the lockpick. And you kind of set out on your own ways. You go back to Kenneth. If you go back to Kenneth, you can find the film that he was recording where he's like showing a shotgun, looking at Bravo Team dead and stuff. I don't have that, unfortunately. And so this is where you kind of play the game like only with yourself. Mm-hmm. You have no other teammates to help you. You are on your fucking own. So if you go down the hallway behind where you found Kenneth, it'll show like that. And there's a small bird cage there. You want me to show you it, Jose?
That's that bird cage that's next to the save room, right?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah.
So I circled the bird cage, and then you see over there's these two green plants. Those are herbs. Or herbs. How do you want me to say it? Herbs or
herbs?
Herbs.
That's how I call them in RE5.
Herbs. Those are used, of course, to heal you, which I don't know how they didn't get in trouble with that. Yeah. Using a green fucking herb to heal your ass.
Which, once you combine two herbs, it mysteriously appears in like a wrapping.
Yeah. It shows up like a paper with like a bunch of dust.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So like that,
I wish I could make this shit up.
Another fucking side note, like we always called it the weed, bro.
Yeah.
Smoke the weed.
And even when I played RE5, I didn't smoke, but I was like,
well, they came in like tubes because they knew that this was kind of not gonna slide.
Yeah.
That, and then whenever they did the healing spray, we called it the lotion. It puts the lotion on the skin. So like anytime somebody was on low health, hey man, put the lotion on the skin, bro.
I think we called it hairspray.
RE5 was 2 players, right?
Yes.
Co-op. Was any of them before that also co-op or no?
0 you can play as 2 characters at once. Resident Evil 5 kind of pioneered the series for co-op.
Okay.
That's why a lot of people didn't like it, because it was like, oh, this is, it's not scary when you play it with someone else.
Yeah.
It's not. You have someone else to rely on.
Yeah, and to some extent it made like some areas or some puzzles a lot easier. Because if Resident Evil is known for zombies first, I would say second is known for fucking puzzles, dude.
A lot of the puzzles are really, which I kind of spoiled some of the puzzles just because I searched up for this a 100% playthrough, so the dude's like kind of going by, picking up everything, doing all the puzzles. So, do you want me to kind of spoil the puzzle for you? Because
yeah, I don't give a damn. It's okay.
What's difficult about it is once you find the puzzle, it's like, okay, I need this. So you walk all the way back here, grab this, then walk all the way back, do that puzzle. So you have this. See, then now you can unlock this shit over here. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
How do I explain that without spoiling you?
It's basically like, and I'm putting it in like, just general terms.
You could just say like, you gotta solve this puzzle, and then they solve it.
No, because it's like, you gotta get the key to open a door that unlocks a box that has the item that you need that unlocks another door that's gonna take you all the way back to the first fucking spot.
Because you were locked and you don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
You have to go all the way fucking back, you know. It's basically just...
It's like 90% backtracking, bro.
But what sucks about it is if you made the wrong choice and you walk past a zombie, because you were out of ammo wasting 80% of your ammo on the last zombie, you now have to backtrack through that hallway and deal with that one with no ammo.
And guess what? You're shit out of luck because you took up every spot in your inventory.
If you run from a zombie into a different room, does it follow you into the room?
Not in the original.
Not in the original.
They
Now,
stay in the same area.
but 2 remake they do. They can follow.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They'll bang on the door and
Oh,
bust
yeah.
it down. Yeah.
Damn.
And so will Tyrant.
Don't even get me started on that motherfucker.
Now, on the birdcage, if you go and interact with it, it'll give you a handgun magazine. Which every handgun magazine that you pick up, you'll get 15 bullets.
Nice.
Which you're like, oh, great, 15 heads. And it doesn't work like that. You can
So-
shoot a zombie.
So about how many bullets would it normally take you
It's
to shoot
random.
accurate?
It's random. And you
Oh.
can't shoot accurate because no matter how many times you shoot, there's a RNG level to it to where if you shoot a zombie, there's a random chance that his head will explode. So whenever you shoot it, you'll get a headshot, and then that will permanently kill the zombies. You don't have to use kerosene.
I think later on you get perks, depending on... Because some guns you can customize.
Not in the first remake.
Yeah,
though.
not in the first, but like, you know, later on. Like, for example, like I know in the 2 remake.
You can get like a
The Matilda.
muzzle that'll give you a percentage to where it'll like lock on his head
Yeah.
or something. But in the original, you can't.
But it's not like a high percentage that's gonna happen. It's just more like it's more likely to happen.
But in this one, you're really taking a chance. You can either shoot him enough to where he's going to fall down and not mess with you, or you can shoot more than enough to try and guarantee that random chance you're going to blow his head off. Which you do not have enough ammo to deal with every zombie. I'll tell you that now. Because you also have to save ammo up for the harder enemies that spawn later on. So, you pick up that... I think I go to where he picks up the herbs too. No? You've seen the staircase back here, right? You can go up the staircase. I'm trying to look from behind.
Staircase behind the birdcage.
Yeah. And you go up there. And that's what I was talking about with the herb.
Oh, so
I mean-
it's literally paper.
It's just-
and
it's
dude,
weed.
you know you're about to roll up a fucking joint, man.
Yeah.
There's no easy way around it.
No. I'm surprised they never got like a lawsuit for that. But let me see. Stop it.
And then you can get creative and combine different herbs, bro.
It would not surprise me if they did get a lawsuit for that, and like they got sued for it, and then you hear about it, and you're like,
You know what?
so this game has like people rolling up weed, but chawing off someone's half of the face is totally
Oh, that's
okay.
acceptable. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, the thing that made it worse for me was in 6, where you're literally popping pills.
Oh
bro.
yeah, you have like a container and you're like going and this fucking popping it.
Popping fucking Tic Tacs and some shit, bro.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, that's great.
So
You know,
it's like
It took us, like,
RE8. Do you just like shoot in your vein?
No, RE8. You're literally pouring water over your hands. I can't make this up. You're pouring water over your hands.
Bong
to get
water,
yourself-
dude.
Yeah. No, you inject yourself in Resident Evil 7's DLC.
Do you really?
Yes. It's the med injections, yeah.
Oh, these signs, dude.
Yeah,
Right?
man. Fucking video games are a gateway drug, bro.
Apparently, the gateway drug is the only thing that keeps you alive.
Right? I don't know if you can see right there, though, but there is a certain corpse lying there. So that may come into play later on. I don't think you can deal with that now, though. I think he's just kind of there. If you try and shoot at it, it's not going to do anything.
Is he? If you play as Chris, are you still in the same area or no?
If you play as Chris, you can do the same thing, yeah.
But can you light him on fire?
You would need kerosene.
Oh, so you don't have it by then?
No, you'd have to go into probably a save room or somewhere that has it. So you go through this door. I don't know why. And I don't know if you can see, but in that mirror, you could see a certain zombie standing around. I thought that was a cool camera angle, how it shows like you're not seeing the zombie, but you're seeing the reflection of it.
Oh, you're talking about the little narrow hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. which you can choose to, walk by it, shoot it, stab it, whatever. You go by it, and then you see this kind of statue with an arrow in it. It'll be sparkling and showing you that, hey, I'm an item. When you pick it up, it's called the golden arrow. You'll need that for a puzzle. And there's a mirror again showing you a zombie. That was cool.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of this. Which, if you go to the mirror right there and you crouch down and you don't crouch down, you interact with it, you get another handgun magazine. And then once you go to the door right next to it, it'll say you unlocked it. That doesn't mean you unlocked it with a lockpick. That means you just unlocked the door. So from the other side, you couldn't get through it. But from this side, you can unlock it. And then you end up on the top floor of the...
It looks really pretty.
Dining room. Yeah, it's a very nice look.
The mansion is both creepy and fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, I see a dead fucking person with blood over their face.
Mind you,
the light behind it with the rails look pretty.
I want you to try and guess, when did you think this game came out?
The original game or this game?
No, this one, the remake.
2014.
2002.
Oh really?
The remake came out in 2002 on GameCube.
Wow.
This is a remaster of it.
Oh yeah, huh?
Came out on GameCube. Yeah. And Resident Evil 4 also came out exclusively for GameCube. It sold so well, they put it on every damn...
Yeah, they ported it over to the PS2.
And the PS3. And the Wii. And the Wii U.
And it's coming out again.
Is it? Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I got it on Oculus. I'm playing it now. It's weird. But, yeah. You end up on the top floor of the
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the rumor is that's the next remake that they're making, Resident Evil 4. They did.
Yeah, but I'm nervous.
I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, but a lot of people are skeptical. That was the big, diverting point. It's the best. People say it's the best in the series. It's the best game of all time. And people have compared that to like some Zelda games.
Well, for me, being a person who doesn't even know about Resident Evil that much, I know that, like I said, Resident Evil 4 is like one of the biggest ones of all time. And then I've heard, I've seen like a remake of 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm like, okay, 4, like I know that's pressure.
I think like, at least the way I see it is that Resident Evil 4 improved on the control scheme, which is something that I feel like was needed. Because I feel like the tank controls...
It still was kind of tanky, though. You still can't control the camera with the right analog
but
stick.
The over-the-shoulder look is definitely way better than having that stationary camera. I feel like it worked good for Resident Evil 1 because you were in like an enclosed space most of the time.
And 2. The original 2 was still good with it.
But like after that, I feel like the controls just needed to evolve because games were getting bigger, and the biggest thing about Resident Evil 4, and I feel like to some extent that's why they went with the control scheme, is that the AI was massively improved. The AI would actively come after you.
That, and depending on where you shot them, they would react differently. If you shot them in the leg, they grab their leg. If you shot them in the arm, they would like flail their arm out. Shot them in the head, they would like daze and shit. That was pioneered in 4. I just don't... How would you make a remake of that? Of like that high of a successive game? How would you remake that? What would you keep? What would you get rid of,
You put in more money than you put in any other game.
Right? That's why 2 remake...
Hope for the best.
That's why 2 remake I was so excited for, because I haven't got a chance to play 2, and then when it came out, I finally had the chance to really get to...
Well, look at the way they did Final Fantasy VII. So
they added a lot of stuff and they kept a lot of stuff new, But I think Resident Evil 4 on Oculus is awesome. I need to bring it over here so you can check it out. I really hope this doesn't get boring after a while. But after you're on the top floor, switch camera angles, and then you'll see this little sparkle saying I'm an item, and it is a dagger. Now, these are called sub-weapons. There's a dagger, there's a taser, and there's a self-defense gun. These are, whenever a zombie attacks you, it doesn't just swipe at you. It doesn't, it'll actually grab onto you, bite at you, and then you'll, push them off you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like this animation you have to go through. When you get hit, you're stuck. So with these weapons, whenever you get hit, you use it on the zombie, get them off you, and then run past them. But they're limited. And if you use a sub-weapon and then you kill the same zombie you used it on, you can pick it back up. Except a taser. A taser, you have to keep using battery packs.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So basically, everything has a limit, and you're fucked no matter what. So that's where you can find a dagger. And daggers and sub-weapons don't take an inventory slot.
Nice.
So they have their own little thing. Kind of like the knife was in 5. You can just keep collecting them, and you can keep using them.
But it's basically like...
Get out of jail free card.
Yeah, it's not really something that's going to do, like, massive damage.
The self-defense gun, it only has 1 bullet, but it can one-shot kill almost every enemy.
Oh, really?
Only thing I don't think it can is I think bosses. But everything else, I believe it can one-shot kill.
Even hunters?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. I'll just wait to get to hunters. that's
See, when you say hunters, I think of like Left 4 Dead, and they're just like stalkers.
You're not completely wrong.
I fucking hate them, man. I really do. I hate them.
Does your phone do screen sharing, or whatever it's called?
I think I can airdrop it to you.
Oh no, I'm saying like I could put a TV right here.
Oh yeah, we could. Yeah. I could try. We could try something like that, so that they're not, missing out on all this.
Oh yeah, wait. No, I was just talking about for us 3. I didn't even think about the camera.
That could work. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Fuck our audience, bro.
It's a podcast, guys. It's a podcast.
You're listening. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just imagine it, man. Use your imagination.
But you're still on the top floor of the dining room. You can walk all the way around, and you'll see the statue. Whenever you press forward on it, you can push it, and it will fall down on the dining room floor and bust. Let me see. Yeah,
I think that's where you get the tiger eye jewel. Is that what it is?
I believe so, but he doesn't get it until much later.
What's that? What is that?
It's literally just another fucking piece.
It's a piece to a puzzle. It's a piece to a puzzle.
I'm telling you, man. Like every fucking thing you do, it's puzzle related, or you're gonna have to like use it. This
isn't a very action-y game.
For just future reference, just say PP puzzle piece.
PP.
It's PP.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's a very small PP.
That's not what I would. That's not what I would go
with. Is it big PP or small PP?
It's a very small PP for the job we wanted to use.
What's like the next big plot point in this game? Because this game, like, if we're gonna go item for item, it's gonna take.
That's why I have so many screenshots. I don't know how you want me to do this. So
yeah, let's go to like.
I'm just along for the ride.
Let's go through plot points, like bigger plot points.
All right, I want to see if I can show him the Itchy Tasty story.
Oh yeah.
I do want you to see that.
What's it called?
It's the Itchy Tasty story.
Itchy?
Itchy tasty story, yeah.
Okay.
So, one of them I want to go through is whenever you enter one of the rooms, you can see it's a painting that has a mount for a shotgun. And whenever you pick it up, you go outside and the room starts to close in. And, you try and do everything, but there's nothing you can do. The doors are locked, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do. It'll go to a cutscene where it's like, somebody help, Barry, come help me.
Wait, is it the top is closing down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I said I saw someone play a game at my buddy, or whatever's house. It wasn't my buddy, it was my mom's friend's son was playing. I didn't even know who he was.
That sounds like a made-up person.
Right?
Whatever. I was with my mom, and she went to someone's house, and they was playing the game. That's what was happening at the time. The roof, like I was just watching them play the game, and then I was trying to get out while the roof was closing down. I was like, this game's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like fucking burned into my brain. But it's because of that scene.
The reason why is because what Barry says. But Barry finds, hears you and is like, hold on, I'll get you. And he gets his big ass, fucking revolver, shoots it again, does nothing. Shoots it again, and the damn thing
I'm
falls.
beginning to think this thing isn't as powerful as Barry.
It's
thinks
not
it
in the
is.
cutscenes, but in the fucking game, it's like a one-shot kill. I'm not kidding.
It's usually the other way around, you know?
Right? In the cutscenes, it's badass. Then once you
Yeah.
get it, it's like a fucking pipsqueak.
I mean, he could just have like blanks.
Right? Wesker's got everything trapped. Hold on.
A fucking
Got it.
cap gun.
Right? He, opens the door and he saves Jill. Now, in the original, whenever Barry saves you, he goes, a moment too soon, you would have turned into a Jill sandwich.
Yes, I remember this.
Yes.
I
And then-
remember this.
In the new one, they fucking butcher it. And he goes, a second late, you would have fit nicely into a sandwich. It's like,
And that's been like a running joke that has spanned not just through the Resident Evil series,
just
but
memes.
in Dead Rising, which is Capcom's other zombie game. There's
You played Dead Rising 4, haven't you?
Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple of shops in either like I know there's definitely one in Dead Rising 3. When you're going through the mall, there's literally in the food court a place called Jill Sandwiches.
Which, by the way, since we're talking about other games by Capcom, we wouldn't have Devil May Cry without a version of Resident Evil 4.
That is very true.
They were trying to make Resident Evil 4 and they made like 3 different versions. One of them they scrapped and turned it into Devil May Cry. One of them was like a more traditional version where they fixed camera angles, fighting ghosts and poltergeists. They scrapped that one. I think that was more... No, Silent Hill was out till then. They just kind of scrapped it. And then they took a more risky approach with 4.
Actually, that's also the reason why I'm not sure in the latest ones. I actually haven't paid attention, but I know Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 had fixed camera angles.
I have actually never played Devil May Cry thing. Yeah, I played
You
5.
are missing out.
I played, I think 3 or some. I can't remember which one it was, but either way, I played it and it was too hard for me and I gave up.
No.
Oh yeah, those games are known to be fucking hard as
Yeah.
shit, bro. And also, those
That
games
Monster
have a
Hunter.
lot of fucking backtracking. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. I think it
It's not so much that like you gotta solve puzzles, because you do. There's some puzzles here and there, but practically every Devil May Cry game, you play at least 2 different characters throughout the story.
Mhm.
And so like you'll go through an area with one character and then you have to go through it again with a different character, or like back the other way with the other character.
See, I thought the newest one, 5 or 6, was like a new thing where you play as a new character. Because I thought they all played with one character.
No, you play as a different character mostly every game. It's really where 3 and 5 where they start bringing new people in. But actually, the person that made the original Resident Evil game, Shinji Mikami, he created Resident Evil 1. I don't think he did 2 and 3, did he?
Don't.
I think
so.
he produced it, but he didn't make it. But he actually helped create 4. He created The Evil Within, the Shadows of the Damned, and the new game that just came out, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, I want to play that game too.
Yeah, he just
Damn.
created that. So there you go.
Huh.
Let's see. I want to see if I can get you to another plot point.
I know we talked about earlier about how one of my favorite fucking things, and it's like a lost art, is live action cutscenes.
Mhm.
So with Resident Evil 2 and 3, they did a series of commercials back when commercials were a fucking thing. Which I would love for you guys to like spend some time looking up PlayStation commercials,
I've seen the Crash Bandicoot
because a
They're
lot of them
creepy
were
as fuck.
they
Right?
were fucking live action.
Yeah.
A lot of them were live action, bro. They had Twisted Metal like live action commercials.
I miss Twisted Metal.
Dude, I fucking love Twisted Metal. But the particular thing about the Resident Evil 2 commercials were that they were directed by none other than George A. Romero. George
Oh.
Romero is the godfather of zombies as we know him today.
Mhm.
He's the
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead,
Day of the
Day of
Dead.
the Dead, the whole fucking Dead series. So that's a little fun fact. And at some point, they actually seeked him out to pen a script for a Resident Evil movie, which the script actually got like dropped online.
Which is
some
very close
ago.
to the games.
Yeah, it did change a couple of plot points, but to me, the cool thing was that they wanted George Romero, the Godfather of zombies, to make a Resident Evil movie.
But they had Paul
And
W.S.
yeah,
Anderson do it.
he did a whole treatment. You can go online and look up the script. It's available online at some point.
And the movie was also a big reason why the game took what was first survival horror and went a lot more towards action. Because the movie came out in 2002. That's when the remake came out. And it's like, oh, okay, it's scary. But then it's like, okay, well, it's also action. And the movie sold really well. So they're like, okay, well, let's make it more action-y. That's when 4 came out, was 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 sold extremely well. So they're like, oh, okay, let's make Resident Evil 5 all action. It's like, nope, it sucked. It's like, okay. I love 5, though. But I want to go ahead and get you to the Itchy Tasty story and the reason why it's called it. So eventually you end up in a room, like an actual bedroom, and you'll find a diary right there. And it says Keeper's Diary. Played poker tonight with Scott and Elias from security and Steve from research. Steve was the big winner, but I think he was cheating. And it says one of the higher-ups assigned me to take care of the new creature. It looks like a skinned gorilla. Feeding instructions were give it live animal. When I threw in a pig, the creature seemed to play with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before it actually started eating. At around 5 a.m., Scott woke me up, scared the shit out of me too. He was wearing a protective suit. He handed me another one and told me to put it on, said there had been an accident in the basement lab. I just knew something like this would happen. Those bastards in research never sleep, even on holiday. I've been wearing the damn spacesuit since yesterday. My skin's getting grimy and feels itchy all over. The goddamn dogs have been looking at me funny, so I decided not to feed them today. Screw them. Right?
You're gonna get a lot of the story
through the notes and the
through
diaries.
like notes and diaries, bro.
And I went to the infirmary because my back is all swollen and it feels itchy. They put a big bandage on it and told me I didn't need to wear the suit anymore. All I want to do is sleep. Found another big blister on my foot this morning. I ended up dragging my foot all the way to the dog's pen. They were quiet all day, which is weird. Then I realized some of them had escaped. Maybe this is their way of getting back at me for not feeding them the last 3 days. If anyone finds out, I'll have my head handed to me. Rumors going around that a researcher who tried to escape the estate last night was shot. My entire body feels hot and itchy, and I'm sweating all the time now. I scratched the swelling on my arm, and a piece of rotten flesh just dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? Fever gone, but itchy. Today hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy. Scott came ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. Itchy, tasty. It's the progression of him turning into a zombie. I thought that was badass when I first read it. Because it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's basically all boring until you get to the part where he, feeds the gorilla, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, fuck the dogs. Like, dude, like, what do you expect? Like, I don't know. Sorry.
You get a lot of like random ass fucking moments through like freaking diary entries and stuff like that, and some of these moments they stand out. Like that's one of the more memorable stories, I guess, from part 1 or from Resident Evil 1. But you're gonna get the bulk of what the fuck is going on through diaries and notes and shit you find. It's not so much like cutscene based and all that stuff like it is.
Well, it being like
on.
an old like 98 game or however 96, I think we said it came out, and that would make more sense.
Yeah, because it's either you have space for like cool shit, or and tell story through text, or you can tell the story through cutscenes, and then your game is shit. So.
Well, not only that is like, it's Resident Evil 1.
They're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying.
It's a new thing. So.
But eventually, you'll get to a certain point and you'll meet up with Barry again. Barry's scared shit, points his piece of shit gun at you, and he's like, it's me. And he goes, do you have any good news? He goes, I can't say it's much safer here either. He goes, all right, let's split up again. And he goes, hold on, I have these special rounds. It's a can of fizz, and it's basically an acid round for a certain.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
A certain explosive weapon. So that's basically it. You basically see Barry seeing what he's doing, which is
Wait.
fucking off.
Where the fuck did he get these rounds at?
Around. I don't know.
There's a lot of random shit in this fucking game.
Like I said.
Well, first of all, man, you have a lot of common sense, and at the same time, you fucking don't, bro. Like, common sense, yeah, why would anybody have fucking acid rounds laying around?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like...
You could say that the security had it for when
Yeah.
the bioweapons get out. I don't know. I mean, am I too loud?
Huh?
Am I too loud?
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, now I'm good.
Yeah.
You dick.
When you was telling the journal, you kept moving up the mic, and I was just like, I'm gonna just
Little did you know that it was for suspense.
Right? It was getting all quiet. I was trying to build it
As
up.
long as
for
it
you.
doesn't sound like a freaking drive-through speaker, we're fine, bro.
No, my worry is like when you go to like look at it later, all you hear is in the background as we're talking.
Oh, God.
That's like the worst. It's like gotta erase that. But enough of all that.
Well, I'm trying to get
What's the last thing we left off of? Somebody was saying something.
I believe it was Barry giving you the rounds.
Yeah, Barry gives you the acid rounds.
Oh yeah, well yeah, but we was also talking about how just like random shit.
Oh yeah, you were like, where the fuck did he get these rounds?
Yeah. So like, never mind. Let's just keep going.
You sure?
Yeah.
I can't go too much longer. I have a good amount of notes, but I don't have too many. So eventually, again, you'll do some puzzles, and you'll get up to a point where you see a dude kind of holding his arm, bearing on the wall, and it's Richard. It's one of the people from Bravo Team. And she's like, what happened? And he goes, this whole place is a fucking killing zone. And she's like, what did this to you? And he goes, a big snake. And it had to be poisonous. And, because no other snake is not poisonous. And he goes, bring me a serum. I saw some, but I didn't bring any. So, that there's a huge-ass snake somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
Wait, is there an actual huge-ass snake, or is this guy delirious? Because I think he's delirious.
Maybe.
When you say that.
You could. You never know.
There's a big ass snake, man. I'm gonna let you know ahead of time.
God damn it. I had him on the rope.
We're talking about a fucking 30-year-old game at this point, bro.
You should have... You had your chance to play it.
I'm trying to get to the part where you see it, because I know I took some screenshots of it.
But you had him for a good while, so you did your job.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you then end up over here where you see some cobwebs and stuff. You're walking around, you're hearing some noises, and boom. Big-ass snake.
So there is an actual snake. Wow.
It's a boss, and his name is Yawn.
It looks like a snake from God of War.
Right? The world serpent?
Freaking sounds like a European snake, bro.
Now,
With
whenever...
a yawn.
Yeah. You fight a big-ass alligator or something, too. But Richard comes in whenever you see him. It's like, payback time. And he starts shooting the shit out of him. And you're told, the snake's going around and you're having to fight him. And Richard's there with you, shooting the shit out of him.
Wait, so when he was holding his arm, because what you just showed me was a snake bigger than Jill was, just the face.
Yeah.
Like, just the head of the snake was bigger than Jill.
Yeah, but
So-
only his arm got hit, yeah. Isn't that kind of bullshit?
Was it just a hole, or is it like...
I guess
Once
it's
again,
kind of-
man, you got a lot of common
Okay.
sense, dude.
I guess it's kind of like a gash. Like, he
Yeah.
tried to bite and he moves and I'm like, shh.
It's all starting to make a little bit more sense now.
So in this boss, you run around the part of the room. Richard's shooting at him. You can shoot at him or you can run. And
I
Richard
feel like you're a
can-
terrible guy to watch movies with.
Probably. Is this how you were when you watched the Batman movie in theaters? That wouldn't fucking happen.
Why didn't he just glide?
Right?
Who the fuck dresses like a bat?
Who the fuck's Robin?
I want you to tell you a joke of what you just said before we started push play about Batman, but I feel like just saying it would sound so much more worse than like just the way you brought it in out of nowhere.
Yeah,
So-
the moment's gone, dude. The
Yeah.
magic is fucking gone, bro.
So like, I'm sorry guys, but
You had to
another
be
time-
there.
Yeah, you had to be there.
You had to be there.
Good Batman joke.
Damn.
But go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, Maybe lose my train of thought. Basically, in the boss, you can fight the snake if you want. You don't have to. Richard will do most of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, the snake will fall for a short time. And that will be the end of that for right now.
So how far is this into the game so far?
Not even a third, bro.
The first yawn fight, and I say first, I would say probably 30 minutes in.
Oh wow!
If you know,
so this is like
if you know what you're doing, 30 minutes in. If you don't, I'd say 3 hours.
Wow.
But that's because of how many fucking songs
that's
I
why.
was thinking like maybe 4 to 6 hours.
No,
that's why I was
one
at.
of the longest games in the series.
That's why I was trying to get him to the next big plot point. Because if we're gonna go like bit by bit, we're gonna be here for 10 years, bro.
I have 1,100 screenshots of getting items, doing puzzles. 'Cause I thought that's what what it went with, but that would have taken a long time.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
So
I was off by hours.
yeah, so you were off by days, bro. At this point, I'm not even
It's an
kidding.
event, but once you know how to do it, it should come pretty easy. But after the first yawn fight, I don't think you fight him again for a little bit. You keep hearing about, one of the researchers writing in their journals that, there's this chain, BOW, that keeps, killing people. It's like fucking ravenous. And, it's warning people, stay away from this, stay away from this. And you get to see it, and it is that. And the reason why that's so big is because that is an experiment.
It's like Pyramid Head.
Kinda. It's kind of the equivalent. You can't kill it. Even if you try and shoot it, you can't. It's invulnerable to bullets because it's regenerative.
I don't know if Pyramid Head is...
No, you can kill Pyramid Head.
Okay, I didn't know.
But that is...
I just know of him.
That is Lisa Trevor.
Oh.
That is George Trevor's daughter. Severely mutated. So they kept, doing experiments on her, and she has become invulnerable to almost any attack you
She's
do.
How far
essentially unkillable.
Yeah. How far are you? How far is the first part you see Lisa? That's about good.
I mean, her body don't look that bad, does it?
Do what?
Her body doesn't look that bad, does it?
Mm.
It's like a 3 out of 10. Just don't look at the face.
What the fuck with bag?
Sorry.
I mean, she's already...
How many beers have you had?
Her hands are kind of bound, so it's already easier access.
Oh, dude. I went kind of dark, but you just turned the lights off completely.
You went there, man. I just had to fucking end that. Right?
Damn, dog. Okay, sorry.
That's fine.
Continue.
It's funny as hell.
Fuck them kids, bro.
So can she hurt you?
Yes.
How?
Oh yeah, bro.
She can do a shit ton, smacking you and shit with his bound hands. She has super strength. She's mutated, so she can do a shit ton of damage to you.
So she's a top, but okay.
Fucking
I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry, but yeah.
You're fine. I gotta keep this
Never
going
mind.
because I gotta go to the next.
Okay,
one.
well, I was just gonna ask, can you like, I mean, I'm trying to not do jokes, but can you actually like bound her since she's like our hands a lot? Can you like,
You
get her
have to
stuck
avoid
somewhere?
Her. You have
No.
to avoid her.
Gotcha.
For the time being.
You just have to run.
Basically. At some point, I don't have the screenshots because I can't find it, but you hear Barry, and Barry's like, I don't know if I can do this much longer. I don't know if I can keep up what I'm doing. And Jill opens the door, and she's like, were you talking to yourself? And he goes, yeah, someone at my age that, because Barry's acting kind of suspicious a little bit. He's kind of talking to himself, and I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, this motherfucker starts to be a little flaky.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I mean, if you have a big ass gun and it takes you 2 or 3 shots
Yeah, you're going to go through some shit. Oh, here it
to
is.
open a door, like, I'd kind of be going crazy too. Especially when you shoot it, does it go? Does like?
Oh yeah, it goes way the fuck up.
This got a big ass fucking recoil, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking hand cannon.
So like, yeah. See, I'd be going crazy too.
Right? But here's what he says. He goes, no, that's not part of our deal. But it's not necessary to destroy stars. And he goes, what about my family? If I play my cards right. And that's when Jill walks in. And she goes, I heard you talking to someone. He goes, oh, you heard. I think at my age, it starts to take a toll. You know, just basically
Does he say?
blowing smoke up your ass.
Is it like say how old he is, or is he? Just
I would say mid-40s. Or early mid-40s.
Something like that, you know.
It doesn't ever really say.
He's definitely like the I would say the oldest out of the Stars team.
Because you gotta remember, Albert Wesker is probably a good 25.
I mean, hell,
26.
yeah, like Chris and Jill are in their fucking 20s, early 20s probably.
Because Chris had just gotten out of Air Force to join the Stars, and Jill had just joined as well. So it's pretty new. I don't think I have another plot point. Let me see. I'm skipping a lot of like puzzle stuff because that's kind of 80% of the game. Okay. So you do meet up with Wesker again.
Hell yeah.
Right?
I guess.
Hell yeah.
She's like, you know,
I like Wes.
She's like, you know, Wesker, and he goes, Jill, you're safe? And she's like, yeah, you know, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm here to, you know, I'm just protecting myself against those things. And she goes, I understand. You know, anyway, it's good to see that you're safe. And he goes, did you notice? Barry, he sounds a little flaky. Which, she says, now that you mention it, yeah, he's kind of acting a little weird. There's a moment of silence. And he goes, maybe it's quite natural, or kind of natural understanding, you know, being in this mansion, dealing with all this shit. And it's not really our standard operation. Our first priority is to get out of here. And these rooms are kind of, you know, fucking me up. Because it's so convoluted and stuff. And let's see. He's been looking for a way to escape, but he can't. And that's really it. Let's see. So basically saying, you know, Barry's kind of acting weird. Maybe you should kind of... You know, he's acting weird. You should go look and see what he's doing. Fuck off.
So, wait, is that the end of the notes right now?
I'm looking through. I believe so.
Are we leaving off on the cliffhanger of what's happening to Barry?
Yes.
Because I want to know.
I know, but I mean, I could tell you real quick.
No. That makes it even better. Because I actually do want to know what's going on with Barry.
Alright, so, I mean, if that's the case, because we have been doing this for a while, do you want to just kind of like cut it at this point and because I want to get into like the movies here a little bit.
Okay.
Because since we like mentioned that, and we have talked about a couple of things that happened in the newer movie, I don't know if that's something you guys want to do.
I'm fine with that.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna put a pin on that.
I gotta get more notes, and now I will know to just do story and not every damn thing.
That would be it as far as the games go.
Mm-hmm.
Or the game.
The game.
The game.
We went over 2.
Yeah, we went over a few of them. So
2, 3, maybe.
I'm going to move this back a little bit.
Just tell him he
wasn't
sucks
loud.
at the podcast, bro.
Right?
You've been
Just tell me to
fucking around
leave.
with his volume. Now you're changing his
Just
fucking
being
mic.
nice, that's it.
Yeah, no, dude. He did all this fucking research for you. And this is how you treat him.
Fuck off, dude. I meant to turn yours down a minute ago and I turned it up. I was like, shit. But yes, that is gonna be it for the story part of the video games. And unless I got questions later on, but we're gonna, if you guys want to, stay, let's do the movies. What movies do you want to talk about in general? All of them or the newest one?
Well, we kind of have an unspoken agreement that the Anderson movies kind of suck ass.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who's the Anderson? Oh, wait, is Anderson the one that his wife plays, like, the main character?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like,
You're good.
You made him leave, dude.
right?
I'm just gonna switch spots with him. No, I probably should, but I gotta look at this thing. So like...
Okay, so my biggest fucking thing since the first movie was the character Alice. Why? Alice does not exist in the games. Alice is a made-up character for the movies. So knowing the source material, that annoy the fuck out of me. Who the fuck is Alice? Why don't we have Jill? Why don't we have Chris? Because in the first movie, you really have none of the main characters. It could have literally been called something else but Resident Evil.
So, let me think. The Alice chick, does she ever show up in a game like as a little cameo?
She does not exist at all.
Not even like in the newest one?
No,
Not just a small cameo?
she does not exist in the Resident Evil universe. She is completely made up for the movie.
I would expect at least like a journal entry or something. Talking about an Alice
the
character.
thing that like pisses me off the most is that as the series went on, we did get some of the main characters from the games. But they were always secondary characters to Alice. Like, they were always just there for fan service or to lazily advance the plot.
So, I mean, it is the director's wife, right?
Yeah, but still, that's...
I mean, it makes sense then. Like, having the director's wife be the main character and you want her to do the most screen time and whatnot.
Even if she does suck or not.
I mean, here's the thing, man. Let's say you make a Final Fantasy movie. Let's say you're some big shot movie director. Would you put your girl as a made-up main character?
I don't know if Final Fantasy's a good...
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. Let's go with Kingdom Hearts then.
No, fuck no.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. There's your fucking question answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hostile.
I'm just saying, I'm angry, man. I don't like these movies. So, alright, so we got like how many fucking movies from Anderson?
Well, there's the original. Are you talking about the Paul W.S. Anderson one? There's the original, Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and the Final Chapter. So
damn,
6.
there wasn't no notes for that shit. That was all out of the head.
They scarred me.
6 motherfucking movies, dude. And maybe they had some cool action sequences.
The music was good.
Like I said, the last one I watched, it was definitely popcorn family. Like, it was entertaining just to watch. You're like, oh, whatever.
When you could see what was going on. Half the time I can't see.
Afterlife, the one with the fight scene between Wesker and Chris?
Yeah, that was ripped straight from 5.
Yeah. So like that whole sequence when Chris is fighting, well, Chris and Claire, which in the game is Chris and Sheva. But that whole fight sequence is ripped off from Resident Evil 5, almost beat for beat. That was very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it was actually pretty cool. I do love that whole first bit of it when he throws his glasses at Chris.
Yeah.
And by the time he catches him, fucking Wesker's already in his face. I love that. But other than that, man, and I feel like that was as badass as Wesker got in the movies. Because anything after that just kind of sucked ass.
I kind of want to watch a movie scene now.
I
remember, I take it back then. I definitely seen another Resident Evil as a kid with my dad because I remember watching Resident Evil and thinking like Wesker is the guy with the black coat, but I have no idea what it was. Honestly, I remember him just looking at some stuff in the tube, I think it is. And he like turned around. I'm like, oh, that's Wesker. And that's about it.
I mean,
I'm going to turn it all the way down so that the mic doesn't pick it up. But you can kind of get the idea.
That's supposed to be Wesker?
Yeah.
Oh, that...
Yeah, that's the best actor they had for it.
And just the way this looks, you said this is Afterlife?
Yes.
Afterlife. That is honestly the best fucking scene in the whole entire movie series, in my opinion.
I like the fight with Executioner and Claire.
It's okay. He took his glasses off and his eyes are glowing in the most.
Oh, so yeah, that's another
way.
reason why he fucking wears the glasses, because
he's infected.
The virus actually mutated him, and it gave him the best of the fucking virus that the virus had to offer.
Super strength, super speed. He was the superior.
Crazy ass fucking speed. Like, this motherfucker's moving at ultra instinct speed.
Damn near like teleportation.
Yeah, it honestly.
He actually did teleport in 5, I think.
God dang. But the only drawback to his mutation is that it gave him cat-like eyes, which I find to be like the most ridiculous side effect.
Yeah, this is
stupid?
we could do this.
It's not hard once you understand.
Except the
it.
dogs, the dogs and the
Oh no! Show them the intro, the live action intro. That's what I want to remake.
The dogs and the chick. She looks badass. Actually, the girl you don't like, she looked pretty dope. Everyone else looked really out of place.
I liked her in Fifth Element because it wasn't Resident Evil.
Fifth Element. What was she in Fifth Element? Was she the?
She was fucking Lilu.
Wait, really?
Mila Jovovich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. She's like little, ain't she?
Not really.
Wait, she's the main chick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea.
That's where they met. That's where Paul W.S. Anderson met Mila.
Gotcha. You see her titties in it? Or titty?
Well, you see him in every other movie, really.
Oh.
All right.
Fair enough.
For this one, I have to turn it up.
That's the only one I know.
I have to turn it up a little bit. But that's the live action to the first actual
that
1996
is the actual
game.
intro to the game.
I'm going to put this up to the camera so they can kind of see it. I know it's a lot smaller.
Good luck.
It says 1998, July, Raccoon, Forest. It was typed out. I couldn't.
There's a guy on a typewriter doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a
Raccoon
big movie trope
Forest.
back in the day. Anytime you introduce a location, they had to do with like military or spec ops or whatever.
So this came out when again? 1996?
96.
So this is supposed to be 2 years after when this came out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Is it upside down?
I have no idea. Nope. So I cannot tell what's going on.
No, just give it a
Just give it a second.
Okay.
It's a little slow at first.
And the voice acting is just as terrible in this live action intro.
I can probably just actually turn it up. I don't think it would matter.
Copyright and shit.
It'd be okay. We got a train in the background to cover it up.
It adds to it. It's fine.
Okay, they're running through grass.
They ain't smoking.
And
shit.
then you see, there's smoke there a little bit.
Helicopter. Nobody
You
was
see,
hit,
oh,
but strangely, most of the equipment was still
okay. I get what you're saying now.
I want to remake this in my backyard.
Jill, Chris, I assume.
And the stock fucking sound. The fucking copyright free sounds.
Because they probably didn't have the budget.
I wonder if they filmed this and like, damn, we did
We did damn
a job.
good.
Yeah, we did a good
Dude, the
job.
fucking
I'll put
director
aliens
to
to
this
rest,
scene-
man.
Oh, okay, you got
Shit. You need to tell me this. I can't hear anything.
The fucking director to this scene went home that day, and he was probably hoping to get his dick sucked because he did such a good job in his head, bro.
What the fuck? Wait, this was was this the
Intro.
opening?
Oh no, just wait till they do the character fucking introductions.
Yeah, this is like fucked up.
Let me see.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It looks like
Kool-Aid.
I mean, it looks kind of fucked up, to be honest. Like, just because it's a low budget, like, it's not good effects, but it makes it look more fucked up, but not in a like a bad way, but like
More real kind of thing.
not even more real, just like that. What the fuck?
I might do the director's cut one. I don't know.
Yeah, because the OG one is in black and white, and the director's cut is in color.
Huh. Is that the mansion?
Yeah, the CGI mansion.
Okay, that's what I was asking. I can tell if it was CGI or not.
There are only 3 STARS members left now.
Oh yeah, wait for the character introduction, man.
Does it come after that?
Yeah, just fucking just give it a sec. It's fucking epic as shit, bro.
Cast in fire.
There we go. Look.
Chris Redfield.
He's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
Age 25.
That motherfucker's at least 40.
Jill 23.
It could be 22.
Barry 32. 33, I think. I can't really tell. I think Rebecca's my favorite. 18. Wait, no, not because of the age.
Oh, hold on. Whoa there, cowboy. Wesker, look at Wesker.
Wesker, 36. He looks... Hell yeah. Now I like Rebecca because, like, she's, like, the new one, doesn't know what the fuck's going on, has no experience in, like, you know... It's like her first day out on the job, and she has to just deal with everything else that everyone else with experience has to deal with.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple like fan-made short films based on Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that was made. I want to say like the guys were probably Russian, and they did a really good job in recreating the mansion, the whole fucking feel of the actual game. There's another one that's I'm gonna say about maybe 20 minutes long, and that was like a whole ass fucking story, like almost like a side story. It was fucking amazingly done. Way fucking better than what we got from fucking Paul Anderson.
Because in Paul's, you don't even get the three scientists or...
You get nothing, man. You get Mila Jovovich doing fucking wire food for like 2 hours or whatever.
Well, you get Michelle Rodriguez in the first one.
Who the fuck is that?
Oh my God, what was it?
Rain.
Rain.
She plays Rain.
Remember Fast and Furious Letty?
Letty from Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Wait, is that Dawn's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's her. She was in it for a little bit.
Let's talk about the new one, man. I really want to get your thoughts on that because that's what piqued my fucking interest in
Me or him?
you. Because I know he hasn't watched it. I'll bring it over one of these days, man. I'm gonna go buy it. And
I should probably play 1 and 2 first before I watch it.
Nah, just watch the movie.
Watch the movie. Because
honestly, you're not spoiling anything by watching the movie.
they're like...
Well, you said there's like fan service, and I'd probably appreciate the fan service, so no, it's fan service. if
You're
I play
gonna
the first
appreciate
show.
the games a lot more.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't like it very much. I had a headache throughout the entire film. Almost. There were certain parts where I was like, okay, this is cool. The CGI was total shit.
Yeah,
I would much rather watch Paul W.S. for the CGI, to let you know anything.
It's Paul W.S.
The older ones, the older Resident Evil movies.
okay.
I'd rather watch those because that actually had practical effects
Gotcha.
for the most of it. In the new one, the budget was so low, and he didn't know how to use it. He really didn't. The gore was horrible. The only actor that actually did his part well was Chris. I think Chris did pretty good. And Claire. Chris and Claire, I think, did the best. The rest of them were not great.
I hated Jill.
Mm-hmm.
I hated Wesker.
Barry wasn't even in it.
not even in the fucking movie.
They didn't.
Really?
It paid an homage to the first. It's beat for beat for the first game and the second game, kinda. And Barry wasn't even in it.
But the one thing that I absolutely despised in this movie was the portrayal of Leon.
Leon is a dumbass.
Leon is a fucking bitch boy dumbass.
Yes.
I don't know why people loved Leon in the first place, besides 4.
Well,
No,
2.
Leon is for the same reason you like Rebecca. It was his first fucking day at that police.
He was a rookie
station.
officer in the RPD. So it was his first day, and his first day was the outbreak. So he had to deal with all that.
Who's Veronica?
Veronica?
Yeah.
I don't know any Veronica.
There's like a code Veronica. Don't you play
It
Veronica?
was my ex.
No,
That's a different. Veronica.
it's just the title of the
Actually,
game.
I dated a girl named Veronica also. Shout out if you're listening. She's married now, I think, or something.
Oh.
It's my ex. Did we date the same one? That's fucked up, bro.
At the same time.
Wait, what's the last
Are we
first
Eskimo
initial
bros?
of the last name?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm not gonna reveal that info. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Last
No,
4 digits of
she
social.
was around
Yeah,
my
last 4 digits of her social security number.
6544. But no, she was around my age, so maybe not.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
Or maybe we did. I don't know.
You're the one that was lusting after 18-year-olds.
I turned 20 in
Rebecca
April.
is a badass, from what I've heard. But who's Veronica though?
It's a code name for the virus.
Yeah, because that
Oh.
in Code Veronica, that's where you really get a lot of the Edward Ashford side of it, Alexander Ashford. Because in the other games, you get a lot
So, who do you play as in Veronica?
of Claire and Chris. Veronica.
Do you ever play with
No,
Rebecca
no.
at all?
It's
0?
Okay.
It's Claire and what's his fucking face? It ain't Chris.
Steve?
Is it Steve?
Steve Burnside? I don't remember.
Might be.
But you don't play. I
'Cause
think.
you're in that fucking facility out in the middle of nowhere.
Mhm. I think it's Steve, but yeah, there's not a girl named Veronica. That's just it's code Veronica. It's the virus name that Alexander created.
Gotcha. Yeah, so far I think Rebecca's my favorite. Besides,
You only get to play as her once, and you only see her in.
Which, by the way, the CGI movies are fucking canon.
Oh, they're fucking amazing too. I love the CGI movies.
I
The
don't know any of the CGI.
Degeneration,
There's, like-
Damnation, and Vendetta.
Yeah, the newest Netflix shit. What was that?
Infinite Darkness. I didn't like that one.
I started to watch it and then I lost interest.
Basically, it tells a little bit of what this character was doing in between the events of some of the main games. So, Degeneration, I think, takes place in between 4 and 5 of what Leon was doing. Damnation is between 5 and 6. Vendetta is 6 and 7. I
Do
think.
you guys think they're just gonna repeat the whole series?
No. They're.
They're gonna reboot the whole series.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they did with 7.
Oh.
They went in a whole different new direction with first person view, and now they're reintroducing shit to the lore, like you were saying. You know, now we got
No, I mean like
werewolves and
reboot as in like okay, one through 6 or whatever. Take those. 1 through 6 happened, and that's that. We're gonna make a we're doing it all.
I mean, kinda. They're not gonna touch the original. They're gonna remake the second and the.
Honestly, you know
Third.
what? With the fucking PlayStation 5 and shit, man, if they wanted to, they could remake the first one and make it the best fucking Resident Evil in the series. Cause I feel like a lot of the things that people remember from the first game as like really badass things, they were due to the limited fucking technology that we had. But now, like compared to the shit that they can do now, they could make the fucking mansion seem a lot fucking scarier, really. Because, I mean, you do play in the mansion for like a portion of the game, but at some point you start like going out to like the little courtyard area,
The lab.
and I think at some point, at least I know like in the remake, you go out to like, there's a fucking cabin out there somewhere like close to the mansion, which is where apparently Lisa Trevor's been hiding out or whatever.
Well, if you can make PT like a hallway, you know, like that, then I can imagine what you could do with a mansion.
I want PT made.
I think most people do.
I love PT.
Is there anything positive that you have to say about the newer movie?
I like Chris. Some of the story was kind of cool. How Chris and Claire were kind of orphans, and they took them in. Am I too loud, Isaac?
Oh no, I'm
Are you
just.
gonna turn me down again?
I'm moving this one to the side.
I'm fucking.
I
with you,
can't
it's
see.
fine.
Fucking bastard.
Leave me alone, guys. Jeez.
I would say just Chris and Claire's story, but everything else, the set design and the zombies look cool.
So one of the things that like I was kind of amazed at is how they respected the sets. Specifically when they go into the mansion, and I believe it's Wesker and Jill go off to the right side, and I'm like, oh, I know where they're gonna go. And then the scene after that, they're literally in that spot that I was thinking about. Like, so they respected the actual architecture, the way that the mansion is laid out in the game. And that's something that, like, unless you fucking play the games, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even realize.
I just think the director bit off a lot more than he could chew. He shouldn't have mixed the first and the second game. He should have just stuck with
It
one.
was rushed, and here's two ways. I think I mentioned it in a podcast before, how 2 ways that you can usually tell that a movie's gonna be terrible. One, if you hear about it being filmed and then like a month or so later it's done.
Yep.
2, when they don't fucking release a trailer up until like maybe a week or 2 weeks before the actual movie releases, because that's what they did with Resident Evil.
They did with Deadpool too, didn't they?
Yeah, but that shit was great.
True.
That shit, actually,
They're making a Deadpool 3.
hell yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So now I can't fucking wait till Deadpool 3. But that's a whole different fucking topic.
Yep.
We're gonna get into multiverse shit, and yeah, that's gonna be a whole podcast on its own.
But you haven't seen the new Resident Evil movie, right? Do you want to see the new movie? Or
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm also not fetching for it.
I mean, they try and do a lot of different things at once. You could really tell that he wants to do like this, and he wants to do like
He
the
just wants to do
mansion.
4, so he's like, I gotta get through 1,
So-
2, and 3, 4.
Yeah. We're getting Nemesis done.
There's we can't even fucking do Nemesis. Not the way the movie ended.
Nope, because Jill already went through Raccoon City,
What Raccoon City?
right? Yeah, they fucked up 3. There is no 3. There
There's
can't be
not
a 3.
even a fucking 2 technically.
There isn't no Raccoon City incident. It's all.
So the things that I did like were little details like that, like that I mentioned, how they respected that the way the mansion was laid out, and that's something that unless you're a fan of the game, you wouldn't notice. But the other things that I did like was like all the fan service. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. You know, I like the fact that you have the fucking truck and the big 18-wheeler looks like the one in the game. You know, the police station looks like the fucking police station. The mansion looks like the fucking mansion. The characters, not so much, but
I like.
well, Chris
including
and Claire
Chris.
actually play their part. Like Chris and Claire play their part pretty good.
I think the guy who played Leon, what's his name?
First of all, he's not white, bro.
No,
He's
he
not
should
a
have played
white guy.
Carlos.
Dude, yes, that's exactly what I was fucking
Mhm.
thinking the entire time. Why the fuck did he not play Carlos?
Who would have played a good Leon?
Who's Carlos?
He's in
Carlos Oliveira is on Resident Evil 3.
He's
Oh.
one of the Umbrella Corps people.
Yeah.
But who would have played a good Leon?
He looks like Miguel from Tekken in the remake.
A good Leon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Leon that well, but
Channing
Captain
Tatum,
America.
Because everybody fucking puts Channing Tatum on everything. Michael Cera, bro.
Yes. Michael Cera.
Who would play a good Chris, since I know who Chris is?
Paul Walker. Alright.
Damn, dog. Too
Right.
soon. Too soon.
Too soon.
We can't talk about that. Let's see.
First of all, my choice of Jill would not be that lady that played
No.
Jill. She's also not white, so that's the thing that like gets on my nerves so much when they change somebody's ethnicity just for the sake of inclusion.
I mean, granted, there really isn't
just
any.
for your podcast listeners, Jose is not white.
yeah,
he has the right
I'm
to
Mexican
say this.
as hell, so
Is there any
He
other?
has a
like,
right.
Is there a black character in Resident Evil that's like big? Now that I think about it, I don't think there is.
in
They all
Resident Evil?
died. And,
Yeah.
No, I don't think that.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I mean, 2, 3.
Well, I mean, if you want to put it this way, I always felt
Josh
like
Stone from 5.
what's his fucking name? Or rather, the fucking model number. The big ass fucking one of the tyrants. He always came off as black to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's what? I guess he's one of the fucking tyrants that shows up in
Mhm.
like one of the movies.
That's another thing too. Tyrant's not in the new movie at all.
Oh yeah, huh?
He's not in the
They
fucking movie.
they had a really good missed opportunity by throwing in fucking Mr. X in there, bro. They had the police station.
And they didn't use it. They didn't even really use Leon.
They didn't use. Oh, god dang it! I was hoping that we get to see Mr. X because they do go into that scene where the dude's in the cell.
Who's Mr. X?
He's-
Mr. X.
I don't know. I don't even know who Mr. X is.
I don't want to tell you that one because that's part of Resident Evil 2 remake. But that's one of the best parts.
Gotcha.
That is why I was expecting him to show up. but-
Because he was in Resident Evil 2 remake. Because a lot of the scenes from the movie is ripped straight from the game of 2 and a little bit of.
But you know,
You guys
going back
wanna?
to-
Well, go ahead.
Going back to the whole thing, I like the fan service.
Mhm.
The story, yeah. maybe it had one or two good moments.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was a couple of points where they were building up to something, and there was no payoff. I hate Leon because he's portrayed as the biggest fucking dumbass in history.
Doesn't even know how to handle it.
Hell, the reason he gets his iconic outfit is because who is it? Fucking Claire thinks he's a dumbass. He's like, here, put this on.
Vest. Yeah.
Yeah. So, shit like that just pissed me off.
The final boss was stupid.
It was fucking terrible. And then you get Leon's fucking redemption moment, and it just makes him look like a bigger idiot.
Yep.
You know. But overall, I was pissed at the fact that there's no way that they could set up for technically a Resident Evil 3 storyline.
You can't do 3 and 4 together because they're so far apart.
And even if you wanted to, like, where are you gonna go? Because they set up where, like, you know, obviously, and no fucking spoilers at this point. They set up where, like, Wesker gets his fucking powers.
Mm-hmm.
But where are you gonna go from here? With the fucking ending that they gave the movie, where are you gonna go from here?
I think what they should have done was made the first movie about Resident Evil 1, maybe 0 and 1, and then the second movie about 2 and 3.
Thank you. That's what I mentioned in one of the last podcasts we were in.
Do 0 and 1 for 1, and then 2 and 3, because that's why it would work like that, because they take place.
If they're 3 months apart, then it would make sense. But do you guys want to take a break real quick? Because I feel like there's an echo going on. I don't know if you hear it too.
No, mine comes
Hello?
out pretty clear.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's going on because maybe it's just this, but I feel like the bar is also not going as well, and it's like making me worry. What the fuck? Anyway.
Nice.
Maybe we can take a small break.
Let's take a small break. Okay, just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, and we're back. Sorry.
You hope.
No, it wasn't not. I think the audio is fine. It was just the bad batteries I put in there. Shitty batteries. But
Walmart brand shitty batteries. Not
it
even Duracell.
it is like I think it was like 30 batteries or so for like
Not even Duracell.
it was like $9.99. It's really bad batteries. Okay.
Was it like fucking 30 for like $10?
I got them for like the TV remote.
You need to get your $10 back. Is what you need.
Yeah, I do. There's a cigarette laying right there. Let me just get that the fuck out of the way. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, beer bottle's
Jose
fine, but
doesn't know how to
cigarettes is-
fucking put his cigarettes up.
No, man.
Jose, he's asked me off camera like plenty of times, like, can he smoke in the room, like cigarettes? I'm like, no, dude, like, you know, we gotta be around that shit, you know.
He can't smoke over here.
Helps take the edge off, man.
Yeah, he's like, I don't even want to be here right now. He's
I'm sure he's getting paid.
Yeah, man. Right before I
Have you
came
ever
over here, I was like telling the wife, man, I don't even want to go over there. For
Yeah.
real.
Make an
That
excuse.
motherfucker pays like $10 for 30 batteries.
Can't smoke.
I think I've asked you this before, but I'm asking you again. Have you ever actually smoked cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Cigarettes?
like not just like bum a cigarette, but like bought your own cigarettes and started smoking.
Buy my own cigarettes?
Yeah.
Nah, man. I'm not that rich.
Okay. You're Mexican.
For real, dude.
Fucking.
I own my own lighter, though, so that's something.
That's something.
At least when people bum cigarettes and then they ask for the lighter, it's like, you want me to smoke it too? Or, what, I don't know, you know? That's why I always say at work when people ask for cigarettes, they're like, can I get a cigarette? And can I get the lighter too? I'm like, you want me to smoke it for you also, man? Like, damn.
Yeah, that's sad.
Speaking of jobs, are you still substituting?
Nah,
Or
hell no. I stopped that like almost 2 months ago.
you enjoying your new job or not?
Kinda.
Okay. I won't get into it.
Yeah. That's a different topic for another day.
Yeah. So what was you saying about the Resident Evil though? Before we left, I don't even fucking
What
know.
fucking part, man?
I don't
I
know.
don't even remember.
Some of the movie.
Well, the
new
movie,
movie.
I mean, yeah, the movie wasn't all that good. But honestly, I mean, if I was to give like an honest fucking review, is at least it stuck to the games a lot more than the fucking Paul W.S. Anderson movies that we got. You know, the characters more or less look like the characters in the game.
Besides Jill and Leon.
Jill and Leon, I guess Wesker. Other than that, you know, they had really good, I guess, aesthetics. The settings, the locations, all that stuff looked like it was ripped out from the games. So those are pretty good things, I guess.
So what makes you guys like love Resident Evil so much?
Well, to me, like, I always had this love-hate relationship with like zombies, like zombie movies in general. So that's really the one thing that got me into the games. And then, of course, I guess the storytelling in the games, you know, kind of got me hooked in, like, on them. But like I said, I haven't really. I avoided the last two games, which is 7 and 8, just because of the fact that it's not really zombies anymore. We're getting into like different territories and stuff. I mean, we got fucking werewolves now. We didn't have werewolves before, except for like I think in one of the like Chinese mangas, there's a whole fucking story about like a werewolf, and even that was fucking weird.
So Resident Evil has manga also?
Yeah, there's like they're like Chinese though, they're not Japanese, but there's stories out there.
Interesting. That's weird. What got you into it?
It was one of the first ever video games I ever played. Lego Batman, Borderlands, and Resident Evil 5. I grew up with my entire family playing it. You, your dad, Tyler.
That was like a weird combination of games, dude. Lego Batman, Borderlands.
Very violent, very kid.
There's like no in between, dude.
No, my family didn't know filters. Here, have a game where you shoot
my
people
dad,
to death.
I guess, and maybe your dad too, I'm not sure, but played the shit out of Borderlands.
Yeah,
like
we did eventually.
So much. It was annoying to watch after some point.
It was the same thing over and over.
Which is probably why I have a bad taste for looter shooters now. Borderlands.
It's a specific taste. I'm thinking about getting Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, but I don't know yet.
I mean, if you like it, you like it. It's Ryan's like one of my favorite games, but like me personally, man, wanting to play a game and my dad just be on the game all the time, playing fucking Borderlands.
I know.
I'm just like, ready to.
I grew up with Resident Evil 5, and then once my entire family played it, me, my mom, and my dad, we all played it, and knew it like the back of my hand.
Your mom plays games?
She plays Resident Evil 5. That's it.
Okay.
And a little bit of Mario, but not much anymore. But yeah, she played Resident Evil 5. I did, and so did my dad. Once them two kind of quit playing, I took over, got most of the achievements. And then when 6 came out, we all tried to play 6. My mom hated it. My dad kind of didn't like it. I liked it, but it wasn't the same as 5. And then I bought 7. But in the span of 6 and 7, I went back and played the older ones as well as I could. Code Veronica, 4. I watched someone play 1, 2, and 3, and I just kind of fell on it there. And then when 7 came out, I played it, bought the DLCs, played the remakes, and now I'm playing 8 on PS5. I grew up with it.
Besides like Kingdom Hearts, I don't have a game that's like story based that I'm like kind of obsessed with. And I think the reason like I have that with Kingdom Hearts though is because like that shit's like brought me to tears like multiple times. Like it's super deep. Like people see it from outside like it's a Disney game, which I felt like you're only number 1, so you haven't gotten to like the deep parts yet. But like, I mean, there's a lot more to it, and it gets pretty dark to be a Disney game, you know? Like, people call Mickey Mouse in the game his of Kingdom Hearts. They call him Michael Mouse because Michael Myers. Because
Oh shit.
he's pretty fucked up to be the Disney guy that everyone knows is Mickey Mouse. He does some fucked up shit, but I won't spoil all that.
That
But-
sounds fucking weird, man.
Yeah, Michael Mouse. That's what people call him. Because he does something. I mean, he does a few things like here and there, but there's one thing in particular that he does that's just super fucked up. Like super fucked up. And I think the story's so convoluted and so complicated that Disney just kind of doesn't. They're just kind of like, okay.
It's Square
I
Enix
can't-
now.
Yeah.
I can't fucking
They just kind of do the
see
thing.
Mickey Mouse
and
doing
I don't
some
think.
fucked up
Yeah,
shit.
well, he does. And I don't think Disney actually realized the extent of what their character actually did in the game. So,
I can see Goofy doing some fucked up shit.
Goofy. Never mind. About
I haven't.
about spoiled something. But yeah.
Him
I
pulling a
mean-
big ass fucking gun and taking pot shots at people. I can see him doing that. You don't know me, motherfucker.
I'll say this. I don't know if I should say this because he's right
I
here.
wouldn't.
Someone dies.
Through Goofy's hands? Like,
No, but someone dies, and it is a character that is looks like a dog, but he's actually a cow, and he talks like this. Just no,
Jordan?
No, I don't. He probably doesn't. Bad impression, but yeah. We're still going through Kingdom Hearts, so I gotta watch what I say vaguely. So
I'm still learning.
yeah. What did you think of Kingdom Hearts 1?
I liked it a lot. I mean, it's a lot more interesting than what I was trying to do. So it worked. I mean, I thought it was just another Disney kind of Square Enix game, but I know it had like a huge fan base to it.
It was like
Yeah.
a game that just surprised you, like, story-wise. That what's...
Definitely
What-
Kingdom Hearts, but
I mean, other than...
yeah. But other than that,
Like just for him or for everybody?
Yeah, not for everybody.
A game that surprised you story wise?
Yeah.
I can tell you a game that surprised me gameplay-wise, which is Horizon. That game blew me away. Like I'm still trying to play the second one, but the first one, like one of my favorite games on PS4 by far. It's just fun to play. But story.
What is your favorite story wise? Because mine will always be Spider-Man. Spider-Man PS4.
That was a really good one.
I fucking love Spider-Man. My wallpaper is No Way Home. Have you seen No Way Home?
Yes.
Okay, I can show you that. So I have
That's gonna be us after we get done with this.
right. I love Spider-Man PS4.
Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3.
No, one game that surprised me, like, story-wise, and it's a game that it's so fucking vague, I guess. Like, as far as, like, I don't think anybody really has ever heard of it. Is Total Overdose. The actual name of the game is Total Overdose: A Gunslinger's Tale in Mexico. And the game itself came out for PS2, and it looks like fucking dog shit. Like, the graphics are terrible, but gameplay wise, you have the ability to go into, like, you know, like slow-mo, like bullet time,
Mm-hmm.
like pretty much anytime you want, which plays into the whole game mechanics of, like, trying to get, like, combos basically. And what it is like a straight up, like, shooting game. A lot of people used to say that it was like a Grand Theft Auto ripoff, but it really isn't. It was kind of like open world, or at least as much as it could be for a game, you know, at the time. But the thing that surprised me the most was the fucking story. Like, it was worth like a fucking movie, like, make or whatever. For the game being as goofy and cartoony as it looked, the story was pretty deep. It was about, like, Mexican federale getting killed, which is like the FBI or whatever, working a case, and then you find out that, like, apparently the story goes that he got high on fucking drugs and shit, and he jumped off a plane. So, you know, that's kind of where the overdose thing comes in. Like, he OD'd and shit. And then it skips a few years, and his kid is now like a DEA agent, and he's working that case. He's trying to find out what happened to his father. So, in the intro, you play as a dad, and you go through that part. The first chapter, you play as the son, and he's retelling the events of what happened. And, you know, you play through a few missions, whatever. You get to a point in the story where him being cocky basically causes him to get injured. So everybody's freaking out because they're like, you know, you're kind of like, we were onto something really good. We're about to crack this case, and you got hurt. Like, we can't just drop it. What do we do? Well, somebody comes up with a brilliant idea of like, oh, let's get my twin brother out of prison. And, you know, we'll exchange his freedom for him doing this mission for us. So they do that. And his brother is kind of like, you know, he's obviously like the black sheep of the family. He's fucking crazy and wild, and he's the type that'll like shoot first and ask questions later. So he goes on that mission, and the whole game is fucking goofy as shit. Like, one of the weapons you get, one of the special moves you get is a fucking piñata. And it's funny because the whole game takes place in Mexico, or at least 98% of it does. So you'll throw the piñata and all the enemies on screen will like run to it. And then it fucking blows up. Yeah, you get another special item that you get is a luchador, like a fucking masked wrestler. And he goes around with a fucking 2x4 with nails on it, and he starts beating the fuck out of like everything on screen. It's so out there, man. It's so fucking goofy, but the story is serious. It's so fucking. It's almost like something that you could see in like a 90s, maybe late 80s action movie. It's a good story. Gameplay. You do something like real crazy, like fucking off the wall shit. Literally off the walls. You can like jump off the walls and go in slow mo, and you know, gun down like 10, 15 guys if you got the skill for it. But that's one of the games that really amazed me, and there was gonna be a sequel to it, and then that studio went bankrupt.
Damn.
So like another studio picked it up, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna continue." There's concept art of what the sequel would have looked like, and then that went bankrupt. So I never got my fucking sequel. Closest I got was they remade it for the PSP, but they changed like a lot of good plot points for the story, and it's just not the same.
It sounds like a game called Wet to me. I don't know if you ever played that.
I've heard of it.
It's like super over the top, but it's silly, whatever. But the story's like not serious at all. But yeah, I know there's one part in the game in Wet, like you fall out of an airplane because I don't know, maybe you're talking about that, and totally different though. While you fall in the airplane, there's like airplane parts falling over the place, and there's people like falling too, but they don't have parachutes, so they're about to die, and they're like turning around, they're shooting at you, and you just have to keep swerving back and forth and trying to shoot these people. And you would think that, like, you know, since you're falling, you would fall pretty fast. No, it's like a 10-minute sequence of you just constantly
falling from the moon.
Yeah, exactly. The game is like extremely like over the top and just batshit crazy. But speaking of like a game that, you know, story-wise blew you away, thinking about it is Mass Effect 2. Definitely got me. It's like my second favorite game of all time now, and it's all because of the story. I saw a commercial for it, like when I was a kid, whatever, didn't care much for it, and then my dad had Mass Effect 1 and 2, or whatever. Well, I think he just had 2, actually, but I saw the commercial for it, I was like, whatever, I'll just play it on 360, because, you know, whatever. I played it, and like I said, it became one of my favorite games very, very quickly. Like, it is an amazing game. Like, every choice you make actually matters in the game, even the small things that don't matter. And you can do so much shit, like sell your shit out. Like, you can go into like a store, right, and they'll ask you like, hey, we'll give you this money to to advertise for us, and your character's named Shepard. Like, hey, this is Shepard, and I think this is the best store in the Citadel, which is like Citadel's like the main area, right? You can go across the street or go to the neighbors left and right and do the same thing. So you can like walk into a store and be like, and you hear in the intercom like, hey, this is Shepard, this best store in the Citadel. Walk like 2 feet away and go to another store and, hey, this is Shepard, best store in the Citadel. And keep doing things like that. And you can also like talk to reporters, and like people would try to like I remember this girl, she's a reporter, and she's trying to she's like getting in your face like, hey, tell us about this, whatever, you know. And you have the option to just, you know, be neutral and just, you know, be like, hey, I don't want to talk, or you do want to talk, or you can just be good and, you know, try to sound good, or you can just fucking deck the fuck out of her. And the thing is, you're supposed to be the savior of the world, right? Like, everyone knows you, when I'm the world, the galaxy, like, everyone's depending on you right now. Like, you're the only person that can do this job right now. And so you punch her and everything, and they report on the news like, oh, Shepard, you know, he's
gone mad.
Yeah, or whatever, and they ask you about it, like, what are you gonna do?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you're like, you need me. Nothing you can do about it. But yeah, that game is really fun story-wise.
You ever play Brutal Legend?
No, but I know about it. It's like
That
Jack
is
Black.
another fucking game that was, I think it was way ahead of its time. It was really good story-wise. I feel like they really played to the aesthetic that they were going for. But I feel like it's also one of those games that was essentially targeted at a specific group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like, one, we never got a sequel, and two, like, not many people know about it. Essentially what the game was, Jack Black plays Eddie Riggs, was the main character, and he's a roadie. He's, you know, helps, like, this band, you know, set up for their concerts and stuff. And for whatever fucking weird chance or event or whatever, he gets like transported into this land that is themed after like rock music. And think of it like you have different tribes, and they're all like based on different types of rock.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got your glam rock, you know, the hairspray rock or whatever, the guys with the really big hair and all that stuff. And so that's, you know, that's one group. Then you got like more tribal type looking crew, and they're kind of modeled after like Kiss and stuff like that, like the band. You know, you got your fucking heavy metal people, you got your goths and stuff like that, and they're different enemies. So it's like a big open world, and the way the game plays is it's kind of like a hack and slash. You go around, you know, like just hacking and slashing at people. But when you get to the boss battles, the gameplay changes. It becomes like a tower defense. So you got like on one side you got your stage, you know, for your band, and you know, you can summon troops and everything, and every troop that you summon has like a specific job, like healers and, you know, the fucking normal fucking soldiers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a fucking tower defense, and your goal is to reach the other side where they got their stage and take down that stage. It's fucking it's like flips a fucking switch, because you're used to like playing all that hack and slash shit for a good while, and then they throw the shit at you out of nowhere. But it also has a really cool, interesting story, like a really deep story. And I feel like it's one of those games that flew under a lot of people's radars.
I mean, now I feel like it's kind of like, I guess you say, a cult classic, because people like praise that game now. Like, I hear a lot from it. And me personally, I never really played it. I remember thinking it was like a Jack Black game. That's what I was thinking. And I love Jack Black, but I was like, I know movie games and how they've turned up, so I didn't want to give it a shot. But it turns out it would have been really good.
Yeah, and they got like a lot of old, you know, rock musicians that voice characters in the game. Like they got fucking Ozzy Osbourne. He plays like this god or whatever.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, they got a fucking Lammy from Motorhead. He's like the leader of this other tribe.
Did you hear about the
Darker.
drummer from Foo
Yeah,
Fighters?
that's what I was about to say.
The what?
The drummer from Foo Fighters. He passed away.
What?
Yeah, today.
What fucking drummer from Foo Fighters? What are you talking about?
Taylor, God, I should know his last name. I just saw him live, and I just saw his movie too. Have you seen his movie?
Lautner.
Too soon. It's the same day, dog. Give it some time. But
Taylor Hawkins.
yeah.
Close enough.
Twas enough.
Have you seen his movie though? They just came out with the movie, like literally, like just a few weeks ago.
I haven't seen it.
It's a crazy dude. The movie is like they're wanting to make a new album, right? So they're like, we don't know where to make an album at, and they're like, this manager's like, we can give you this house to make an album. And they go in the house, and they're like, doom, like start playing some instruments. At first they're like, no, but then they start playing some instruments, like, oh, the echo in this house is really good, whatever. And so they like decided that's what they want to do it. Changes very, very fast, and the house is haunted. And let me just say this: it's not just like a metal thing. It's a kind of like a horror movie, but it has jokes in it. But it is like gory as fuck. Like the first thing you see is someone's head getting fucking chopped in half, and there's like I don't know, like stupid amount of blood all over the place. And you see, spoiler, but each band member of the Foo Fighters has a horrible fucking death, and they die very brutally, like tons of blood all over the place. And yeah, like Dave Grohl, he's like going crazy too, because they're trying to make the perfect song, whatever. And at some point they're making a song, and they're like, the guys are just like getting tired. They're like, we can't do this no more, or whatever. He's like, we've been playing this song for 40 minutes. He's like, it has to be a perfect ending. So like they're playing the song for like over an hour, like, you know, in the movie time, I guess. But they're like, I don't know, it's good, corny, but gory.
I like when movies have good fucking shifts like that, where, for example, Scott Pilgrim, where for at least 20 fucking minutes, it leads you to believe that it's one movie. And then as soon as they go on stage and start playing, whenever he fights the first evil X, that shit comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then it turns into a different fucking movie.
Yeah, like at some point you're just like, because it's about, you know, Foo Fighters trying to make an album, and then you find out there's a basement, and in the basement there's like a fucking dead squirrel opened up, like it's been opened up from the inside, whatever, and you see its guts and stuff, and blood is falling down into a book, whatever that is possessed. Just crazy shit. But yeah, you should definitely watch it, for Taylor at least.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You make it sound like I do him personally, but yeah, sure.
Yeah. Do it for Taylor, man. No, he was good. We saw him live last year, so Shaky Knees. So
What's his movie on? Is it?
we saw it in theater, so it probably.
Called?
Shit. I don't
That's a
remember.
good title.
Oh, no, Studio 666. That's what it's called.
Never heard of it.
Studio 666. Yeah. Well, it's a limited movie.
Limited like showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think another movie that does like a big change like that is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've been wanting to watch it again recently.
Dude, like the first fucking half of that movie is basically like bank robbers.
Oh wait.
Yeah, the first half of it is them they pulled a fucking heist. It's stated that they pulled a heist and they're running from the cops.
Gotcha.
And then they get to Mexico and it's a different fucking movie. Like out of fucking nowhere, bam, vampires. Like that shit took a fucking turn. You know.
Like I remember watching that, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid, which is why I want to watch it again. But
watch the series, man. The series is actually pretty good.
Wait, we're talking about the same one where there's like a machine gun on his fucking pelvis, right?
Yeah, the crotch gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Making sure.
Yeah, the character's name is Sex Machine.
Stupid. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie, by the way.
Yeah.
What is that?
From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
I haven't haven't heard of it. But
They go to the strip club and turns out all the strippers are vampires.
oh shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even knowing what the fuck's is gonna happen,
Hmm.
when you first watch the movie, like the first fucking half is so different.
Hmm.
It's literally about like two guys trying to escape the law. That's what it is. They're fucking running from the law. And then, out of fucking nowhere, vampires. And it just fucking throws you off because the second half of that movie just is something completely fucking different. So that I like shit like that when it's done right. And the TV series was actually done pretty damn good. I think they don't even get to Mexico till the 7th episode, when shit really goes down. But those first 6 episodes is a really nice build up to it. Like, you get more character backstory, and I liked it, man. I've always been a fan of that movie, and when I heard they were making a series, I was hoping that they didn't fuck it up, and they did it justice.
Who did it?
Same guy that directed the movie, Robert Rodriguez.
Nice.
The script is Quentin Tarantino,
Hmm.
but the guy that directed it is his friend Robert Rodriguez. In the series, I think the first episode and the 7th episode, and the first season anyway, they're done by Robert Rodriguez.
And I just discredited him by saying it was Quentin Tarantino to him.
No, I mean, he did it for like a fucking $1. Like, because they had a fucking thing where they were trying to stick it to like the Directors Guild or some shit like that.
Hmm.
And because at the time they couldn't, for whatever reason, you couldn't do like 2 directors for one movie unless you're related. Like the Wachowski brothers are fucking sisters now.
Ethan and Cohen.
Yeah. So
That's
they're
weird.
they're like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Anthony and Joe Russo.
You come direct this movie for me, and I'll pay you $1. And that way, it's like a big, I guess they found like a loophole basically. Like, it doesn't specify how much you need to get paid, but you can do it for $1. All right, cool. And they're fucking friends, so like, dude did it, and now we got a fucking series.
Hell yeah.
It actually had like 3 fucking seasons, to be honest. But the whole first season is that first movie.
Nice.
Where's it on?
It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
Well, I'm gonna cut it here.
Yes.
Been a good episode. We almost at 2 hours right now. I cut it off for the first time at about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So,
You probably got a good 4 or 5 hours of footage.
yeah, about almost 4 hours probably. So, that's the first Gamecast episode /
Bullshit.
Starting here, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this for the part 1, possibly part 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bad way to do that. See you guys again on the next episode. Bye. And now this is the actual ending. I'm gonna do this like 3 times. Like, this is the real ending. No, but for real, guys, this is it. Come back for the next Gamecast episode. We'll be doing Resident Evil again and get more of the story and figure out what the fuck's going on with Barry, because I want to know. So that's it. You guys want to say anything before we go?
I'm good.
You want to say anything? Got anything to say about your
on the spot?
your little crew?
What crew are you talking?
Like, I don't know. I felt it's not
Like a biker?
Esperados. Desperados.
Oh yeah, Desperados ruled, man. We're
Desperados.
going to Evo this year.
Desperados are going to Evo. They're going to win.
Hopefully.
They're going to place at least. Hopefully. But hopefully.
You got this.
It's a big one.
I believe in you.
The world's biggest tournament. But if you guys listen this far, thank you so much. I love you, and I hope you enjoy it. It'll be more for you. And that's it. Bye.